down as I can to try to share as much of the nectar as I can as well. Um, just hopefully, sorry, just my hands are, if I can just trying to find the presentation. As I'm finding it, I'll just sing Jaya Radha Madhav. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. So little kitten and then
Okay.
Mangalam praise and then topic.
Okay. I was gonna do Gopi Git, but I think it's gonna take too long.
Yeah, it will be too. Yeah.
My computer keeps freezing for some reason. It just let me just. I've got so many things up on my screen, and I think it just can't handle it. Oh, I've got it. Found it. Right. Okay. Where is it? There it is. Oh, I don't want that one. I want the other one. Why can't I find it?
You want me to share any screen, Mataji? Let me know,
No,
please.
no. I've done a presentation. I've got two untitled presentations when I'm going onto my maybe I should just give it a name. Where is it? Just give me a minute. Okay, I'm gonna rename. Sorry, I'm just gonna rename something. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारि यमुनातीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदा नन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारि यमुनातीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना ललिता सहगना रघुनाथं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपिशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरोभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवतम् उत्तमा श्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. I hope I can speak something which will be hopefully very enjoyable to all of you. I'm going to try to speak a little bit about the glories, like 1% about the, not even 1%, 0.00001% of the glories of the beautiful glories of Vrindavan, which are unlimited and which are completely divine, and which will hopefully impress upon you the deep desire to visit the beautiful Dham. My slides have lots of pictures. Some of it I'm going to speak from, I've spent a lot of time in Vrindavan. Some of it just pictures to help you see the graphics. And so I'll try and speak a little bit from memory, a little bit from Shastra, and I just hope this presentation will play, because there are lots and lots of different pictures. So I hope you can all see that there's a little Tulsi bud with yellow writing. So okay, so who do we need permission from before we enter Vraj? So I've visited Vrindavan a few times, like maybe just less than 10 now. And I know that every time I have gone to the Dham, it's been based on lots and lots of worship. And specifically, once you've been to the Dham, different deities and different, it's not just deities, but different personalities we pray to, especially when we're trying to understand the significance of the Dham and the significance of how everything is interrelated in the Dham, because the Dham itself is Krishna. So with reverence, this is a part of Goloka Vrindavan, which is on our planet Earth. And even before we enter, there is so much going on. We have to prepare ourselves, create that mood within us, so that we can enter the dham. And then the dham, I mean, every time I've been, it's opened up a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and it keeps revealing itself. No two times are ever the same. Even if you spend like months there, every day is different. Every day is a dance, every day is a song, every day is a prayer. Everything's changing. It doesn't work like the time in the material world, like how we're used to here. It's completely got its own rules, the way it functions. It's not of this world. And I hope that I can bring some of that magic. But before we enter Raj, it's really important that there's certain, personalities that we really pray to, so that when we go, especially as we enter the dham, we have their blessings and their protection. So one of the, Vrindavan, it's named after Vrinda Devi, who is the beloved of Lord. And Dulci Marani, she arranges, that's her other name, she arranges the pastimes of the divine couple Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. She creates all the pastimes. She's in charge of the dham. It's her dham, and we enter where there is, we'll talk about the forests in a minute, but Tulsi Marani and Vrinda Devi, the name Vrindavan, Vrindavan is full of Tulsi leaves and lots of beautiful pastimes. And even when Radharani was praying to her, who is actually she's the queen of Vrindavan, um, Radharani prays to Tulsi Marani, and um, she does lots of fasts for the whole of the universe, for the whole of creation. And Tulsi Marani is very pleased with her. She says, "Oh goddess, please grant me unsevering pure devotion to the lotus feet of Govinda." And Tulsi Maharani blessed her with that, Tadastu. And therefore, Radharani is always completely devoted to the Lord, and she gets this boon from Vrinda Devi. So Tulsi Maharani we'll see some of her amazing places in Vrindavan in a moment. But she's in so many stories, and as we go deeper into our bhakti, we notice that she's an integral part. Her and Purnamasi, they arrange the divine leelas that take place in Vrindavan, so that the divine couple, they can meet. So everything, she's like the backdrop of everything. And then how can we forget Lord Shiva? He's the protector of all devotees, and we're going to see some of his temples as well. But he protects from the east, west, north, south. He protects. So as we go into the dham, it's actually Lord Mahadev. From different angles, he's protecting the devotees that enter the dham in different forms, like Gopeshwar Mahadev, Gokuleshwar Mahadev. We'll talk about this. I don't want to go all through it now. So there's 4 different so there's 5 temples of mainly Lord Shiva that Lord Krishna's grandson established within Vraj, that protect all areas of the dham and the devotees that enter. But there are more than that, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So Lord Shiva, he's always eager to join the rasa dance, and he's always eager, and he takes on the form of Gopeshwar Mahadev. And it is actually Vrinda Devi that gives him the body of the gopi as well. So and then he's there in other different forms, like Gameshwar Mahadev, and we'll see some other ones as well, other forms of his that are there that protect the devotees of the Lord. So he is the protector of the dham. And then Lord Balram, he's the king of the dham. He's, Dauji ke bhaiya, Krishna Kanaya, Dauji ke bhaiya. So, Lord Balram, he comes first onto when he appears. He enters Raj first. He's therefore honored first, and it's really important that we take blessings from Lord Balram. And we're going to look at some of the forms of his, and especially this form of Dauji, the brother of Krishna. He's known as Dauji in Vrindavan. And people are absolutely crazy about Lord Balram, and they will visit him as he as to show him respect. It's his land, to show him respect. And of course, Srimati Radharani, who is the queen of Vrindavan, she's the queen of Raj, so she gives us permission to enter the dham, and into the service of Krishna also. So these are personalities that we all must really seek blessings from before we actually even think of entering. And as we do surrender to them more and more, my realization is that they open up the dham more and more, and we get more and more understanding of the pastimes of the dham, of things that are kind of someone will tell you a story about something, or you go and visit a place and that place opens up for you, and in that way, as we go deeper and deeper, I mean, if you think about the highest people like the Goswamis, they were able to see Leela happening all around them, and they were having contact with the personalities. Lots and lots of people have incredible experiences in the dham. It's incredible. It's something magical, mystical, all those words that can be used to describe something that we can't really, only through scripture can we sometimes understand and use the words to kind of understand it. It's something that's kind of beyond our senses. It's beyond it. We're transported. Vrindavan is full of happiness, it's full of bliss, and we're transported into a completely different world, into something that's unexplainable. So to start off with, this is Vrindakund. It's based in Nandgaon. So there is a beautiful temple. It's actually owned by it's the Pujari is from ISKCON, and the ISKCON maintains it. So I remember going there I think it was in Kartik on an Ekadashi, and there was lights everywhere. They have Jagran, like they stay up the whole night, and they're chanting just the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It was light, it was beautiful, it was all decorated in Deepavali. So at this time, it will probably be full of lights everywhere, and people just staying up, chanting, devotees there, just literally so absorbed in the holy name. And this is a very beautiful place. It's based right outside Nandgaon. We're going to talk about Nandgaon in a minute. Just on the kind of outskirts of Nandgaon. And again, such a beautiful, potent place all around. You can hear people, especially in the night, just totally devoted to the Lord and chanting his holy name. And if you can just imagine this all being very dark with lots of little lamps everywhere, that's probably like another vision of this. And it's just an amazing place. Every year they do Tulsi Viva here, so it will be happening in the next few weeks, where the Shaligram and the Tulsi Maharani they have their wedding, and it's a whole procession. So then they have like the mandap. It's all beautifully decorated. So they have the mandap. They have the two sides, the groom side and the bride side, and then they have their lovely wedding. So this is it's a beautiful place, and it's for Vrinda Devi, and that's her deity form in the little temple, and it's a very, very beautiful and peaceful kund. So if we can all just take darshan of Tulsi Maharani.
What are the bottom one deities, Mataji, please?
Before we move on.
Looks like a Girigovardhan Shyam.
And this is Dauji. So as you can see, this is very big actually. This is the biggest deity probably in Vrindavan. It's in a place called Dauji, and that's the temple. And this temple gets so packed. I mean, people go crazy day night over this temple. And this is where we take blessings from Lord Balram. So it's really important that when we visit, we take his blessings. In this form, I know normally we just depict Balram as being white in color, but here he's black because he's absorbed in the thought of Krishna. So his form is very big, and he's very merciful, and the energy there is just like ecstatic. I mean, you can see people all over. That's just a normal day in that temple. It's people, as soon as it's 4 o'clock, I mean, there's crowds of people, and it's the traffic around it. It's not in the center of anything. It's got its own kind of area. And then there's just little Krishna, and I think that's Revati, who is Lord Balram's wife. This is Ramghat, so another area and another temple dedicated to Lord Balram. Again, this isn't in. So we've got the Vans. This is all within the Vraj Mandal. It's near Chirghat where Krishna's Leela happened with the gopis. And also Ramghat is where Lord Balram, he has his own set of gopis, which are different to the gopis that Krishna has, and he Leelas take place there. So Ramghat is another beautiful place dedicated to Lord Balram. And then the Lord Shiva temples in Braj. So there's 5, like I said, they were established. The main ones, the 5, but there are more like that I haven't listed. There's the ones I haven't listed are Kedarnath, which is the one part of one of the dhams, but I'm not going to really talk about. So basically, when Lord Krishna's parents, Yashoda Maya and Nand Baba, wanted to go to Vrindavan, to go to the Char Dham Yatra, Gangotri, Yamunotri, Badrinath, Kedarnath, then Lord Krishna said, no need to go there. I'm going to bring all the dhams here, including the Char Dhams, Jagannath, Rameshwar, Badrinath, and Dwarka. They also are in Vrindavan as well. Apart from them, the other Char Dham is also there, Gangotri, Yamunotri, Badrinath, Kedarnath. And so he bought all those dhams, and they all again are within the 84 crores Vraj Mandal. But apart from some of them, there's also these 5 main ones. There's Gopeshwar Mahadev, who's in Vrindavan. There's Kameshwar Mahadev, who's in Kamyavan. Bhuteshwar Mahadev, who's in Mathura. Chakleshwar Mahadev, who's in Govardhan. And Nandeshwar Mahadev, who's in Nandgaon. So these are the 5 main temples of, but there, like I said, there are others, but these are the 5 main ones. And then Radharani, of course, there would be no Raj without her, because when she came from Goloka, it's written in Garga Samhita that my heart cannot be happy in a place after she was cursed. My heart cannot be happy in a there is no Vrindavan forest, no Yamuna river, and no Govardhan hill. So it's really, obviously, Radharani is Krishna. It's really important that we really surrender to her before we enter the dham, because without her, there would be no dham. She has brought Vraj Mandal onto this bhaumic planet. She's the one who was bought. So it's really important that we understand that without her, none of these things would be there, because the dhams came with her. Right, so the pastime places of Krishna. So obviously we hear there's certain names, so it's so big. There's like 5,000 temples. It's really difficult to put in a PowerPoint presentation. There's about 5,000 temples, and then if you think about that, it's just the main temples. Even within that, every single house is a temple. I mean, it's, if you can just imagine the vastness of this, it's huge. Then obviously you've got Govardhan, Yamuna. There's lots of guns. There's 12 forests, which we're going to talk about in a minute. There's 24 smaller forests. They're called Upavans, and then the 12 forests are called the Vans. There's the 4 dhams, which I just spoke about. Ramghat Dauji, which are specific places for Lord Balram. Raval and Barsana, specific places for Srimati Radharani. Then the meeting places, Vrindavan, Govardhan, Jirghat, Katyayani, and Pandirvan. And then you've got the pastimes that we generally hear of, like Mathura, the Yamuna River, Gokul, Damodar pastimes, the baby pastimes, the demons of Vrindavan, and the Nandgaon. So somehow I'm going to try and, in my own weird way, try and put some of this into pictorial form for you so you can have a look. Right, so the 12 forests of Vrindavan. So according to the Padma Purana, there are 12 principal forests in the Rajmandal situated east and west of the Yamuna. So I just didn't say, but it's 84 crores. The Vrindavan is 84 crores. I've got a map in a minute. So it takes about like just under a month to just do the whole parikrama of that. It just takes under a month by foot, and then obviously visiting all the different places and all the temples. So that's when we say there's a Vraj parikrama going on. That's what's happening. It takes about a month to cover the whole of the Rajmandal. Obviously, you're sleeping, etc. Govardhan parikrama, on the other hand, takes about 8 hours on its own, and then you have the Vrindavan, the middle bit where the Iskon temple is, and all the Yamuna and everything around it, Kesi Garden, all the 6 Goswami temples. That takes about 3 hours, and lots of devotees in the morning after Mangalarti, they'll just go out and chant around the Yamuna and do the Vraj parikrama, the Vrindavan parikrama. That takes about 3 hours. If you're fast, it takes about 2 hours. But the 12 forests, like I said, but the whole of the Rajmandal, which we're going to try and cover today, takes about 1 month. So according to Padma Purana, there are 12 principal forests in the Rajmandal situated east and west of the Yamuna. So they're Mahavan, Kamyavan, Madhuvan, Talavan, Kumudvan, Bhandirvan, Vrindavan, Khandirvan, Lohavan, Badravan, Bahulavan, and Belvan. So we'll talk about some of these in a moment, not all of them, but some of them. So this is the actual map of the Braj Mandal. So this is 84 crores. So each crores is like 2-3 miles. So altogether it's like about 300 miles around. So these are some of I don't know if I'm going to be able to zoom in. I can't, but yeah, I can't zoom in. Right, so now we're going to start with Janmabhoomi, which is Mathura. So the picture at the bottom, so this is where Krishna's birthplace was. So the picture at the bottom is the actual Mahal. It's the palace of Kamsa, which probably has been slightly renovated in times. and there's obviously there was according to the invasions and stuff, so it's a little bit of stories around that, but generally this is the place. It's very, very beautiful. It's very big. Mathura is very big, and so we enter into the actual time when Lord Krishna appears. The picture on the right hand side, once you go inside it, it's like it's a jail. You can't, that's a very they don't let you take photographs, that you know you have to leave your cameras outside, but someone's obviously taken that. So you go through this really tiny, it's like not even a meter long, literally like your body just fits through this really tiny little space. There's no windows, there's no light, and you're going right deep. You go into this, like you're walking down this big, like it's like a passage, but with walls on both sides. And it's all brown, and it's got these like what you can only say would be the chains, or that had fixed. So it's very narrow. You walk down and then you enter this room. It looks like the size of I would say like a small living room, very small living room. It's all dark. It's got no windows, but in that room there is this, even though there's no window, there's no light, there's this shine that comes in there, exactly like that backdrop of where like Lord Vishnu standing on that bottom picture, or Lord Narayan. And so there's this light, and then they've just got this cradle. Like you can't, like I say, you can't take pictures. There's just got this cradle there that where Lord appeared, and it's literally a small room, the size of a small living room.
Hare Krishna. Mataji,
So
you are sharing different picture as well.
can you see it?
We see only the
Which picture can you see?
the palace.
You can't see the other two pictures? The one with the jail and the...
I can see Mataji.
You can't see the jail and the... Oh. Can you see... Sorry, can you see...
We can
You've got the
see
palace at the bottom. And then you've got... You know, on the right-hand side, there's a... It's all dark, isn't it? That's where Krishna was born.
Yeah, we can see it.
Or appeared. Yeah. It is dark. You can't see the picture very well because it's actually dark. There's no light in there. So you walk down this place like it's like a passage, but with long walls on both sides. And then you enter this little small room, and then that's where he appeared. And in that place, they've just got this like cradle, like not a cradle, that's a very English word, but you know, like a julo, where he appeared. It's literally just a room. It's all dark, but it's just got this phenomenal light inside it, but it's not, there's no window. It's just because Krishna appeared there. So can you see it, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, I can see it. Yes.
Yeah, so it's really difficult because you're not allowed to take cameras. It's very, I mean, the security is so tight there. But that's the closest picture. Right, and so Krishna's born. He appears to Mother Devaki and to King Vasudev, and so obviously as he appears, obviously we know that he's in the shackles of he's in shackles. He's a prisoner in Kamsa's Karagraha, which is his prison. And Lord appears, and then obviously Lord appears, and you know, as soon as Vasudev hugs him, all his chains, everything falls off him. And that's just like Krishna. As soon as we bring Krishna into our hearts, then all our shackles, whether they're material, whatever they are, whatever anything that we've got that's restraining us, it all falls away. So his shackles are all loosened, and then he makes his way over the Yamuna. So it's nighttime. So I couldn't get a nighttime picture, but it's nighttime of he makes his way from Mathura to the other side of the Yamuna towards Gokul, which we're going to see in a moment. So this is the river Yamuna, and she's one of the principal wives of Krishna. And she gives, she's so happy. She gives, she wants to touch his lotus feet. And as it's raining so much on that night, Sheshnag also appears to cover Krishna, and then and he's escorted by his father Vasudev through the Yamuna, down the Yamuna to the other side towards Gokul. So this is the Yamuna. So it's the physical, you can actually physically see how we go from Mathura all the way to Gokul. And so just a few, just because we're on the topic of the Yamuna, this is Gesi Ghat. This is, I'm just going to talk about her because, again, there's just so many different ways to put this. So Krishna kills, so as he gets older, he also kills the Gesi demon on this ghat, Gesi Ghat. And in Vrindavan, that's a really, really big place of pilgrimage. And especially if you go to the ISKCON temple, like that's just literally 2 minutes from where you are. And everybody just does parikrama. It's the most beautiful. I mean, these are this real buildings, and they're little grooves that you go down, and it takes again about 3 hours to do the whole the parikrama. But it's so beautiful. You've got Yamuna on one side, you've got the Gesi Ghat on the other, you've got the way Krishna killed this demon. This building has been placed there. This is where he killed the Gesi demon. And then this is Vishram Ghat, again on the Yamuna. So after killing, Balram and Krishna rested here. And again, these are little grooves. There's so much going on in these places. And then artis are happening. The boats are going to and fro. Lots of pujas are taking place. It's a very divine ghat, and of course on the Yamuna. And this is a picture of the arti that happens every night on the Yamuna. There's lots of different ones that go on, but these are some of the more popular ones. There's hundreds and hundreds of people, and I can only imagine now, as it's Diwali, it will be absolutely packed. And there is, these are moments I can remember being on this ghat, and in this, you're just experiencing divine bliss. It's unimaginable. Right, so he crosses the Yamuna now with his father, and then he's brought to Gokul. So this picture, which Gokul is in Mahavan, this picture, which I'm going to talk about what these things are in a moment, but this is where Yashoda Maya gave birth to Yogmaya, and this is the Bhavan. This was the Gokul Bhavan of Nand Maharaj. So this is where Krishna's childhood pastimes happened. So Gokul and Mahavan are also sacred to Hindus, as they believe that Lord Krishna spent some years of his childhood and early adulthood here. This forest is beautifully decorated with different kinds of trees, creepers, flowers, and there's lush green meadows for cows to graze in. There's lots of cows when you go, especially outside the temples. Beholding this beauty, the Vrajvasi Gopas became very pleased and happily began to reside here. Mother Yashoda gave birth to Krishna and Yogmaya at midnight. So it's just this, the swap happened. I think that's what they're writing. In the delivery room at Nand Palace in Gokul, and the umbilical cord was cut and other Vedic purificatory rituals were performed. So in this place, Krishna killed. This is when we hear the story of Putna, Trinavarta, Shaktasura. There's some other demons as well. He liberated them in Gokul. Also, Krishna and Balram's name-giving ceremony happened in Gokul, in the nearby cowshed of Nand Maharaj. And here, Balram and Krishna also crawl on their knees, and Mother Yashoda, so the Damodar Leela happens here. Mother Yashoda tied the naughty baby Krishna to a motor, and Krishna delivered the Yamal Arjuna trees, so Manigriva and Alakuvera. The childhood pastimes of Krishna and Balram up to the age of 2.5 to 3 took place in Gokul. So this is their baby pastime. So you can imagine, as soon as Krishna is born, he's literally, it's a wonderful festival. But then soon after that, these demons are on his back. Gans knows that he's born. They're trying to kill him. They're trying to find him. He sends all his demons. And then Krishna liberates all of them as a very small child, in this area. And this is our wonderful, if you can see the backdrop of that, this is where Krishna was tied. This is the motor he was tied to. Behind, you can see the goat. So this is actually part of the motor he was tied to. So the Damodar Leela took place, and every day they do the Damodar Ashtakam in this area. So every time when we're singing, this is what we're singing too. There's other pastimes that also take place here. So there's okay, so there's a little temple dedicated to Chintaharan Mahadev. Chintaharan Mahadev lies on the ghat of the Yamuna near Brahman Ghat, and basically Vrajvasis used to worship him there. Mother Yashoda, when she saw when Krishna did he showed the whole universal form in his mouth, when Mother Yashoda, she became very anxious, and for his welfare she used to pray to Chintaharan Mahadev, for Krishna's safety. And Chintaharan means removing anxiety. So lots of people now go there to pray, to have their anxieties and worries removed as well. The Chorasi Kamba, which is this picture that we saw earlier, this one, the different poles and the different Kamba means like a pillar. So Nand Bhavan is also known as Chorasi Kamba, so that picture that we just saw, and it's a famous pilgrimage place in Gokul. The temple rests on 84 pillars. That's why it's called Kamba Chorasi. The walls of the temple are painted with Lord Krishna's various pastimes. The pillars of the rocks have exquisite carvings, and they're really, really beautiful. There's also a huge banyan tree in the courtyard, and devotees visit and they tie like a ribbon on the branches, and it's believed that it fulfills their wishes. There's also a temple for goddess Kali under the banyan tree. Here is the temple in the beautiful darshan of goddess Yogmaya as well, because Yogmaya was born, Krishna's sister was also born here as well. So it's in remembrance of her. This is Chintaharan Mahadev. This is the temple there. It's got little Krishna on the top. Again, the 84 pillars. There's also Brahmand Ghat, the birthplace of Krishna. Here, the small this is where he ate his clay when he was playing with the cowherd boys. And obviously we know the story when Mother Yashoda asked him to open his mouth, and then he opened, and then she became very dumbstruck because she could see the whole of all the universe. She saw innumerable universes, countless Brahmas, Vishnus, and Maheshis, and all moving and non-moving entities. And then she closed her eyes in fear and thought, what is this I'm seeing? Is this an illusion or some magical powers? And then upon opening her eyes, Mother Yashoda saw Kanaya sitting on her lap. And that's when she started praying to Chintaharan Mahadev, because she was worried about Krishna. And this is just another beautiful pastime that happens in Gokul on Brahmand Ghat. And this is Brahmand Ghat. So this is where that pastime took place. So it's right outside. So you've got their house, and then you've got this right outside their house, this big ghat. And also in the same place, just a few little minutes away, there's Raman Reddy, which most people have heard of. It's all a sand building. Sand, sorry, it's everywhere sand. And this is where Krishna and Balaram used to play, basically. And then you get blessings if you roll around in the sand. It makes you really happy. They make you laugh, and especially it just makes you so happy being there, because it's where Krishna and Balaram played, and people did ras there, and it's just an amazing place. I mean, you just roll around, and for such, you just rejuvenated. And so obviously this is another temple. This is from the Nand Bhavan, sorry, that we saw earlier. This is Lord Krishna and Yog Maya, the twins. So they obviously they were born on the 8th night in the month of Bhadra, in the star of Rohini. And basically that is depicted here as well in the Nand Bhavan. This is Raman Reddy, just what I spoke about, that sand all there, and you just roll around in that sand. Right, so this is Gokul. Then this is all these demons that are coming. It's a nice place. So loads of amazing pastimes. Their childhood pastimes took place here. The name giving ceremony, and some of the demons were also liberated here. And this is when Gumps is getting an idea that Krishna's that he's the person who's going to defeat him and kill him has been born, and he's in Gokul. So he's really putting the gopis and the gopas there into quite a lot of distress. Eventually he sets fire to it, and then at that point Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Maya and all the Gokul Vasis, they're like, okay, we need to do something now. So then what they do, they move to Nandgaon. So we saw that map, but it's not quite clear on there. But Nandgaon is literally located about 9 kilometers from Barsana, and is the place which was constructed by Nand Baba on the top hill to protect baby Krishna from attacks of demons sent by Gumps on a daily basis. So Krishna was under attack most days. And Mathura and Gokul are quite close, where Nandgaon is a bit further. Also, there's lots of reasons that he was sent to Nandgaon. So there's a rishi called Shandilya Muni, and he had, through his penances and austerities, he actually said on Nandgaon, demons won't be able to attack Krishna there. They won't be able to come here. So it was like a safe place for him to be. Now, Krishna spent most of his years growing in Nandgaon. There's a big temple, which we're going to show you, atop Nandishwar hill. So Nandi is the bull of Lord Shiva. And it's called Nandgaon for that reason. So Nandgaon was given by the chief of Barsana, King Rishabhanu, to Nand Baba after Gokul was burnt by Kamsa in hope to burn the baby. So Nand Baba constructed his home on the top of Nandishwar Parvat in the hope to protect Krishna from attack. There would be residents of Nandgaon who would be up all the time patrolling from the top of the hill in case baby Krishna was under any attack. So Nandishwar Parvat is actually Lord Shiva. The whole of the Parvat, the whole mountain is Lord Shiva. So that's the first mountain. There's 3 mountains in Vrindavan. So this is the first one, Nandishwar Parvat, and this is where Nandgaon is, and this is Lord Shiva. The actual Parvat is Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva did also perform penance in the to take form of the hill of Nandgaon, so he can take the dust of the feet of the gopis there. Gopis are the personification of love, and the demigods wish to take the form of the they will do anything to get even a little bit of dust of the Vraj Vasis and especially the gopis. And this is where now Krishna used to sneak from here to Barsana to meet Sri Radha. So let's have a look. So from Barsana, you can get an auto to Nandgaon easily. It's just about 10 to 15 minutes. So you can see how they're meeting, you know, like it's close now. Gokul Mathura is a little bit further down, and then Nandgaon, Barsana, they're very close to each other. And this is Nandgaon. It's huge. There's a huge palace, and it's got a fort all around it, and it's a whole village. And these are the deities of Nand Baba and the two boys there, and Yashoda Maya. And Radharani is also here as well. Right, so in Nandgaon, there's also Ter Kadam, which is a place where Krishna used to take to graze his cows. And also, Rupa Goswami has his bhajan kutir here. It's very beautiful. And this is where Krishna used to, so you can sit here and you can chant, and Krishna used to call the cows here, and then they used to all come past. And on his flute, as he used to have a different name for each cow, and all of them used to come to this place. Ter Kadam. It's also here. Right, then I haven't got a picture of this, and I've been to it so many times. There's Bhojan Thali, Charan Pahadi, and this is in Kamyavan Raj. So Bhojan Thali, there are like plates in the ground where Krishna and Balram, when they used to go to graze the cows, they used to eat they used to have their like lunch and everything. So there's actually plates in the ground which they used to take their prasad from. So now people go and offer like little bits of like mithai and stuff, and then distribute. So that's where Krishna and Balaram and the Gopas used to eat when they were grazing. There's also something called a shila, which is like a slide. And they just used to slide on it. It's a nature, and now like when you go there, you can slide down it as well. And there's Charan Padi. There's one footprint of Krishna there that everyone goes and worships as well. So this is in Kamyavan in Braj. So this is where they used to start. This is when they used to graze. When they used to take their cows for grazing. Then, so moving on. So this is where the love story kind of begins. In Barsana, which is Srimati Radharani's. This is where she's living as a teenager as well. And then they meet in a place called Prem Sarovar. And again, this is such a beautiful it's a kund, and it's such a beautiful place. And the story behind this is that one day Krishna and Radharani were sitting there, and then she saw a bee, and she called it Madhu. And she became really, because Krishna is like a bee, and she became very anxious because she thought she separated from Krishna. So she's sitting there, she feels like she's separated from Krishna, and she starts crying, even though Krishna's just sitting next to her. And she felt the pangs of separation, and her tears created this kund. And there was such deep love between them that even like any moment of separation that she felt, even like as she saw this bee or what have you, and it appeared to her that Krishna wasn't there anymore. The separation she felt was so intense that she started crying, and this kund was created. And this is the kund of pure love. Like, it was her pure love for Krishna. And people go there. There's festivals that take place, especially after Radha Ashtami here. It's beautiful boat festivals, and the whole of Barsana comes together just to worship the divine couple. It's very beautiful. And then as we move from Prem Sarovar, there's lots of gardens and things like this that we see that where Krishna and Radharani could have met. Barsana is stunning, and there's a pathway which moves to Brahma Parvat. So Lord Brahma in the same way Lord Shiva wanted to take the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis, so did Lord Brahma, and this is Brahma Parvat. So we've got Nandgaon, Brahma Parvat, and this is where Srimati Radharani's temple is, Shriji temple, the big one. So this is another about 2 hours. So you go onto this Parvat, and then eventually you come atop, and there's this beautiful palace in Barsana, and here we have the deity form of Shriji and Krishna. This temple is mind blowing. Even as I'm speaking, I'm just like, it's mind blowing. This is the main temple in Barsana. If anyone ever has a chance, please go there during Radha Ashtami. I mean, the festivals there is out of this world. Just a little trail for Radharani. So Radharani, so the Barsana Vasis think that she appeared in Barsana, but most scripturally we understand that she appeared in a place called Raval. Yavat, or Javat as it's spelled, is where her in-laws lived, and then she used to. So Raval, that the first picture on the left, that's what it kind of looks like now. So there's like politicians there, like I think Hema Malini, she's created like lots of things for like children there. She's created a community hall. There's a temple is there, and she's created a like a community hall to turn it into a mall. She's trying to create something from it. And then you've got obviously the deity of Srimati Radharani, and this is again Raval. So where she was found, they say underneath there's again the Yamuna and the tree. And then the picture at the bottom, they've painted it, but when I went, it wasn't painted. It was all grey. It was just cement. Yavat is when she got married. She used to sneak out. There's a little window there. I don't know if you can see it, but she used to sneak out to meet Krishna. Behind that window is the Yamuna, and she used to. This is her little room, and she used to actually escape. There was a little door, little passage, and you can sort of see it on the side. That's where she used to escape to meet with Krishna. And that is a picture of the little baby Radharani. There's a temple dedicated to her there. Now, this is Bhandirvan. This is where Lord Brahma performed the marriage ceremony of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. So they were actually married by Lord Brahma in this place called Bhandirvan. And we can go there, we can visit this place, and they have lovely prasadam there. It's pure Rajvasi roti and with makhan on it, and they give you this lovely chas. It's so delicious. Right, these trees, if you can see the tree, there's a white tree and a black tree. This is the union between Krishna and Radharani, and a lot of people go there if they've got any mantas, or they go and pray and worship there. So this is again Bhandirvan as well. These two trees. It's like literally a black tree and a white tree. They're put together like Srimati. They are Radharani and Krishna, and then these trees are out of this world, like trees you haven't really seen ever. So that's where they got married. So So there's about 4 different little temples there. Right, now, as it's Diwali, we can't forget Lakshmi Devi. So Belvan is dedicated to her. That's where she's sitting. She's doing a tap again on the other side of the Yamuna. And there's lots of peacocks in this part. It's very beautiful. And this is Lakshmi Devi. She's sitting there. She's doing tap. She wants to enter the Ras dance, but because of her opulence and therefore she's still doing tap there, so that she can enter the Ras. And hopefully one day she will get entry when Krishna is happy. But she's sitting. It's beautiful temple again, dedicated to very, very beautiful. But because of the nature of opulence, she's unable to enter the Ras. And then this is Nidhivan. This is in Vrindavan, so very close to ISKCON temple, which some of you may have heard stories of. So this is where the trees at night, they're all in pairs, so they all turn into gopis. This very beautiful van. So all the area, it's really weird how this is, but it's all dry. The branches are dry, and it's got the greenest leaves throughout the year, the Dasi leaves. And this is where the Ras Leela takes place at night, which people are not allowed to see because they say that people go blind or they die or something happens to them, because it's meant to be a divine spectacle. This is where the Ras takes place at night. So at 7 in the evening, everything's shut. Nobody's allowed. Nothing's allowed. And even the birds and everything leaves. The monkeys, everything leave. And it's open again at 5 in the morning. And there's a little room, Rangmail, where they lock it. They leave prasadam, like sweet, like beetle nut and sweets, and like a chunni or something. And when they open it in the morning, and people can actually go and visit this, they can see this for themselves. As soon as they open it, someone has been in, not someone, but Krishna and Radharani have had pastimes in the place. So normally, not normally, all the time, the toothbrush, which is like a twig, not like a toothbrush that we have, but a twig, has been used. The clothes have been, they're left disheveled, and then the sweets have been like parts of the sweets and the betel nut have been chewed on as well. It's very, I mean, it's beyond, it's beyond imagination. Then we've got our beautiful Govardhan Hill. This is Vishnu Parvat. So we've got Rudra Parvat, which is Nandgaon, Brahma Parvat, which is Barsana, and then we've got the Govardhan, which is Vishnu Parvat. So this is Lord Vishnu. And then on top, so there's lots of different places. There's Mansi Ganga, Kusum Sarovar, lots of different, as you go, this takes about 8 hours, and at each point you see Uddhav Kund. There's loads and loads of different, where all the Brahma Kund, where Lord Brahma prayed for forgiveness, Indra Kund, where Govind Kund. So all the different kunds are there. There's Kusum Sarovar, where Krishna used to dress Srimati Radharani. So all their pastime places, 8 hours of just pure bliss. And then to top that off, right on the top, you've got Radha Kund and Sham Kund. And then that's the picture from the top. So you've got Radha Kund is the big square one, and then Sham Kund is the smaller one. And then between them, you've got the Sangam, where the two join. So normally people take a dip in Radha Kund side first, then in Sham Kund, and then back in Radha Kund. And again, like I think I've stayed here a few days. Like the first time I went, I stayed I think one day, and the second time another day, and it's a whole village. I mean, it's just spectacular. It's after you've like stayed in Vrindavan, which is so busy, and then you go to Radhakund in the morning, it's so calm, and then you've got all the bhajan kutirs, and it's nice to stay here as well, just to, because most people just go back to Vrindavan because everything's close to the middle bit. Everyone just spends a day and then they go back. But if you actually start spending like nights there, you can see how everything works. And what they kind of say is that the Nishanta Leela is the end of the night. It lasts for 144 minutes. It's in Vrindavan in the Yoga Pit area, which is the Radha Govind Mandir. We haven't looked at the Vrindavan temples, but that's where that Leela happens. Then you have the Pratar Leela, which is at sunrise. That happens in Nandgaon in Mother Yashoda's kitchen. That's 144 minutes as well. Then you have the Purvana Leela, which is at forenoon, just before. So that's when Krishna goes to Radharani's house in Yavat, which that little room we just saw. And then you have the Madhyana Leela, which is a midday Leela. That happens here in Radhakund, and it's for 288 minutes. So this is Krishna's, this is his dincharya, like what he does in the day and the night. Then from Radhakund, there's the Apara Leela, which happens in the afternoon. It's 144 minutes at Suryakund, which is a sun god temple. And then the Syam Leela, the sunset, it happens in Yavat, in Radharani's home. And then the Pradosha Leela, which is evening, is 144 minutes. And this is the Abhisara, the dressing rather, and going out to meet Krishna. So that Leela is going on as well in the evening. And then the Nakta Leela, the midnight Leela, happens at Seva Kunj. That's those ones with the branches that we saw at Nidhivan. So these are the 8 Leelas that are happening every day. So Lord is visiting these places, and these activities are going on daily. This is Nitya Leela. It's going on daily in Vrindavan, in Vrajmandal. These different pastimes are happening in these places all the time. So Lord's presence is there, and different places, Leela is happening. Whether we can see it or not, we'll definitely feel it. It's happening all the time. And with that, I'm going to end.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing all these beautiful pastimes of Vrindavan.
Thank you, Mataji. It was really nice. Beautiful. Very nice. I wanted to go to Vrindavan now.
Yeah, I've been looking. I've just been, I don't think I've done any justice to this, but this is like a whistle top stop, whistle tour stop. Literally, there's so much more. It's too much.
It's hard to cover everything in one session.
It's so hard. It's just
probably in the next session you can tell some more. Yeah.
There's just even if you spend your whole lifetime, you can't cover this. I haven't even talked about. I was thinking I haven't talked about the Goswami temples. I haven't talked about Vrindavan. There's millions of things I haven't spoke about, but literally that was just a whisk. And then every single place has its own Leela, has its own pastime, has its own. I can't. It's just the mood. It's too difficult to explain. You have to go there.
Yeah, Mataji, I feel like I haven't gone. It's really nice. I joined it after, but yes, very nice, Mataji. for taking us to the Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna.
How many days we need, Mataji, just to cover all these places? Approximately.
I think we need a month at least to cover the different pastimes, like what happened in each, like, you know, Radhakund, how it appeared, like even the, you know, the story of Prem Sarovar, Kusum Sarovar. We haven't even done Govardhan, like we haven't even been to all the Black Mansi Ganga. This just is so mind-blowing, like all of it. We need like to go into the pastime, to go into, because even like there's loads of pictures of deities, and I'm just showing like literally, you know, like the main. I don't know, I think it would take about a month. It'd take about a month every day. It's mind-blowing. I'm just, even like just talking about it and just like looking at it today, like I can actually imagine myself going through each and every single one of these places. Until you do it, like I haven't even spoken with any mood, like literally I just spoke like as matter of fact, because if I spoke with mood, it's too overwhelming, and it changes, it creates change within us as well. So I just did it as literally like an informative session, just to say this is this, this is this, this is this, because there's so many prayers in each of these. Like even if we just took Vrindavan, like there's a whole, you know, there's the whole Tulsi Lila Amrita, like even that will just take a month. Or if we talked about all the Lord Shiva temples, that would take another month. And Nandgaon, you know, there's loads of places we haven't even touched in that. Like I just showed you like the palace, because even within that, there's so many little stories where all the demons were killed, all the Vans, where the marriage place, Bhandirvan, like there's so many stories, there's so many pastimes, there's so many, everything has just, it's eternal Leela, it's going on all the time. It's really hard to explain it. It's not hard to explain it. Explaining it, we can sort of find, and it's getting into the mood of the bhav, because the people that live in Vrindavan, they're deeply absorbed. I mean, they're living in Leela all the time. They're seeing Krishna all the time. It's understanding that Krishna is there. Like when you go there, you will feel him. All those pastimes, once you go and visit the place, will start revealing themselves, and you will understand them, whether it's through like a Vrajvasi telling you, whether it's through scripture, the manifestation of the pastime begins to happen, and then like Krishna book comes alive. And when you see Krishna's footprint, or you know, this is where he did this, it all, the Leela, it's all going on. This is where he stole the gopis' clothes. This is where he did this. This is where that happened. This is where that happened. This is how what Gantz did to him. The energy, it's like if you go there like during Janmashtami, the whole area, like the few days before, it starts raining and it's like thundering, and it just happens just before it's the time for Krishna's birth. Then slowly, when Krishna is born, the next day, the Leela is happening there all the time. Krishna doesn't leave, and which any person you talk to there is a devotee. They have got Leela in their mind. They're not like people like, you know, the people that you can't, you're so lucky to have met in your life. Like they're walking, talking, transmitters into the spirit, into what is happening in the spiritual world. Like it takes time to absorb it and to understand what is happening. Like to take blessings from a Rajvasi is really huge. Like even if you went to the Damodar Leela, like there's, you know, the Pujari there, he will, I mean, they start talking, they'll tell you that this is where you're, you know, as soon as they start talking, the Leela is just coming from them, through them to you. It's completely transmitting into your, from every single place. There's 5,000, like I say, over 5,000 different temples. Every place Krishna has had his lotus footprint on, or the whole of that Leela has taken place there. The lands, obviously there's the modern, whatever the modern thing that's going on. Eventually you get past that and you start really going deeper into the Leelas, and it's mind-blowing. It, you know, there's like a temple just dedicated to his flute, or it's, there's just huge amounts of everything comes alive in Vrindavan. All the, what we learn, what we speak about, what we learn through the books, what we know from our soul, from somewhere, you know, from our lifetimes, everything comes to life in Vrindavan. It's not a place of this world. It's the gateway to the spiritual world, and you feel that so much more there. You will change as soon as you just walk into the place. You something just changes within you, and you're not the same as you was, or you become activated. That's how I see it. You become activated as soon as you step foot in the land of Raj, and the moment you take your foot out of Raj, like when you're going back to Delhi or whatever, all that magic, it wears off, because you can't contain it. It's contained in Raj. You'll totally feel it when you're moving in and out of Raj, especially when you're on the Yamuna Express going back to Delhi. The material energy starts kicking in, but when you're in Raj, you're in you're completely activated, and everybody's activated, and the more you're activated, it's because every single person there is activating, and that's why everyone just feels crazily happy, and nothing can ever make you feel sad in Vrindavan, because it just, I mean, obviously people live there and then they go through the ups and downs or what have you, but everything is based around Krishna. Krishna is the center of everything there, and his Leela is going on, and we feel that at each and every moment. And there's people there that are like being devotees for lifetimes, that if they're born on the land of Raj, they're part of Krishna's family. You know, they're going to be going straight directly back into Goloka, or they'll stay here to support the earth. It's not, the place is not, it's not from here. It's such an, you can ask for something straight away, it's given. Like if you have a thought, oh, I feel like eating pizza today or whatever, the pizza will just come to you. Somehow someone will just say something to you. For thinking something, someone will just say it. You have to be careful as well. It's not normal place. It's not a place that we can ever identify with in sitting in London, or we can never do justice to it. It's until you go there and you understand and you live in that, then it's like you're transported into a completely different state of being. Everything changes, everything works different. Like for example, like I had a kitchen set up for me because I used to cook for Dirkadam, and we used to do services, and even like you just have to go on Radharani's mercy, and like you can cook loads of prasadam, and even things that you never could do here, you can just do there, because the potency is so much. It's not, you cannot compare it to anything you've ever known before. Like it's just different. It's much better. It's like it's like having a new brain, a new body, a new being. It's like you forget everything. Like after a few days, you wouldn't even, not even a few days, even within a day, you wouldn't even remember like where you came from. You just don't identify with like any other place apart from Vrindavan, because it's got the potency to change us back, and it's the gateway. It's the gateway to the Goloka Vrindavan, or to the spiritual world. So it's not of this world. And the prayers, I think one of the things maybe we can all do is just do the real deep prayers. The Dham is very, very potent. I don't know what else to say. I'm like literally all day I've been like shaking, like even just looking at the pictures and stuff, because I can feel the vibrations from the pictures. And then and what we want to do is create memories of being in Vrindavan. Like if we have any holidays, like just don't go anywhere, just go to Vrindavan. Like there's no point in going to Canada or Australia or whatever, wherever people go, because Vrindavan's got so much and it gives you so much, and it's the only thing that makes this entire universe happy. Like I was saying this to someone else, I saw COVID leave, not even being present there, because I went there when all those things were happening in Delhi, when the whole world was shut down. Nobody was wearing a mask in Vrindavan. Nobody was doing anything spectacular, apart from just worshipping Krishna. All those temples opened up slowly, and then the world opened up afterwards. Krishna, this is what I think, Krishna took COVID away. Everything happens first in Vrindavan, then it affects the rest of the world. It's absolutely like being in magic. It even just any little bit, like say for example, one day you don't chant your rounds properly, and then the monkeys will be after you, because they also know everything's got consciousness there. Like we keep hearing that everything has consciousness, the instruments, that it's all Lord Balram's energy, or Radharani's energy, and if you're not in like there, you have to be in service to Krishna. It's not you think about it, or oh, today I'll go to work or whatever. You have to, and you have to be in service in whatever capacity. You have to be in service to Krishna there. Even if it's like waking up early and doing your rounds, otherwise you can't function there. There's no like, oh, I'll have a line today or whatever. It doesn't happen there. Like there's chanting going on all the time. There's vibrations are so high. There is no tiredness. There's no it's not like anything we've known. And it's probably better not just to go like as a tourist, because a tourist won't see it. You have to go with the eyes of a devotee and with devotees as well, so you can experience it. And I think the main thing about going to the Dham is talking to the Vrajvasis. That's the key thing, because they have the Dham inside them. They're living it every day. They see Krishna every day. They're absorbed. Their minds are completely absorbed in Krishna. There's, my Lala, my Lali, they're completely absorbed. The whole being is so absorbed in it, in the Leela, that's what they see, that's what they experience. They don't have vision. They don't see anything in the same way we do with material eye, material kind of ways or anything. Vrindavan is different from any other dham. Obviously there is other amazing dhams as well, but Vrindavan is just really, really special, and it changes you. It's the only dham that completely changes you. whereas all the other dhams, they lead to Vrindavan. Like they help you with something, or you get loads of realizations even if you went to like, you know, Jagannath or Mayapur. But everything kind of falls together in Vrindavan. Everything, it all places itself together, and Leelas are going on in all dhams. Of course, they're going on in Jagannath and in Mayapur and any dham you can think of. But in Vrindavan, it's just very, you will notice it straight away, and it's very specific. Right, does anyone have any questions? I think I've gone on a bit too long.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for a very wonderful session. It is very nice to hear all the Vrindavan pastimes, especially from you, and you have experienced all this bliss, and we are feeling those vibrations. Just one question, Mataji.
Yeah.
It's kind of materialistic question. Is it possible to go there and stay there permanently by maybe having a home there?
Yeah, it is. But obviously, right, so right, there's different ways to answer this question. Right, so one is if you get called there, of course, you should go there. There should be never any reason that you shouldn't go. And if your heart says to you, I should be living in the dham, that's that's a calling, yeah. So you should straight away, you can get a place, you can get a flat, you get a room. Lots of people do that.
Right. For example, if you wanted to stay in Barsana, so buy a house there, and then live there, isn't it?
Yeah, you can do that, absolutely. The only thing is, you have to remember purification does go on. In Vrindavan, I think it's quite nice. It's quite easy, like compared to say Mayapur. And Mayapur is meant to be Udhari Dham, but it's purification will happen. Like if you act with a material head in Vrindavan, most people will get kicked out. You have to be on that level of devotion. So people can stay there for a while, as long as you're in that level of devotion, day in, day out, or you've got shelter. So normally, you know, if you've got your guru shelter or something like that, it makes it a bit easier. Obviously, but you will get tested in the dhams, 100%. That's from a material perspective. If you don't keep your consciousness on that level, that's when you'll get tested. So that's when it becomes difficult. So you have to keep your level high. Srila Prabhupada did say that it's not wise. It's only for saints and sages that should really go there. Like one of the reasons I decided to leave is like you don't want to cause a disturbance in there. Like if they think you're not married and if it's causing a bit of a disturbance, then it's like that's not. I mean, I was just like I can't keep dealing with that every day. If you just do bhakti, you can live there. I think that's the key thing. If you just do bhakti, it's easy. If you then start watering it down, if you're doing seva, it's okay. If you start watering it down, the energy is working faster there. And I don't know what the right answer is. If you're being called, I think you should just go. What you shouldn't do is create a business out of it. Like, you know, like any dhams, even in Mayapur, we learned when we was doing these courses that dham you cannot use as a business. So many different people from different parts of India are now buying places there, and land is becoming really expensive. Rajvasis are not. They're destroying land. They're destroying pastime places of Krishna. I think that isn't good. They should preserve the dham. If you have a bhajan kutir or even a little house where you live with your family, I think that's okay. But I think if you start then turning it into a business and what some people are doing now, then that's not in Shastra. That says that you can't cheat Krishna basically. But as long as you live like what I've heard is, long as you live like the Rajvasis, you respect them, you don't try to use your money power over them or anything like that, then it's okay. You live like them, you understand, then your devotion grows as well. Then your devotion is able to increase. You study the scripture. If you go there just for bhakti, that's like the ideal. I think you can, if you're retired, a lot of people buy a retirement place and then they move there. That's good also. Anything you actually do, anything to encourage you to go to Vrindavan is a good thing. As long as, obviously, there's, everyone keeps saying, like Srila Prabhupada said, you can't make offenses in the dham. How pure are we? Like, we have to understand where we are once you meet those more pure people, especially those ones that are living in that state all the time, then you understand where your consciousness is in comparison to them. It's not from, I think, and you can serve the dham. Even if you think of the dham, you're serving the dham. So you think of it, or you help someone there, or you're still serving the dham. I don't see why it's not. Everyone should be encouraged to go to the dham. It's just, don't go there and do nonsense. I think that's the problem. Like during COVID, lots of people like left their jobs, or they carried on doing their mundane jobs, but they moved to Vrindavan, so they're still getting the benefit of being in Vrindavan, but they're doing a material activity. So as long as you're absorbed in Krishna Katha, that's going to actually elevate you. Otherwise, you're just doing, yes, of course, you're still going to have the benefit of the dham, but you're still going to be doing, you're not fully there. It's like it's Mishri Bhakti, it's mixed Bhakti. It's still, like, if you're in the dham, just do devotional service. I mean, that's what it's there for. And there's people that, there's saints, and say, if you go to Radhakund, all these different places of the Goswamis, there are Vrajvasis that have, you'll see their where they have their samadhis, and it's such a pious place that we should try and maintain the purity of it as much as we can. There's obviously loads of people, obviously there was the invaders, but even them, they all, eventually they get, the dham won't allow them in. So I don't know, in modern terms, how would it, I think if you've earned your money and then you go and stay there, then why not? You still have to, if you're still doing your dharam, and if you're still in, it's the state, the main thing is it's the state you're in. If you're still in one ashram, then you could do that kind of anywhere. But if you've transcended that, if you're in Leela, then Vrindavan, there's nothing better. I mean, in Barsana, you have the Rasik. There's so many different devotees with so much bhav and so much. They're so absorbed. I mean, like for me, I was like a little dot compared to anything that I saw out there.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, it's better to practice here and strong in our practices, and then we can go there. Maybe to absorb the moods from here, as you were mentioning, like the mood, we have to bring the mood, like I mean, wherever we are initially, and then we practice the mood even in UK about Vrindavan mood. Then slowly we gradually progress, and one day we can go there and have the mood every time. In that case, there will not be any material things affecting us.
That's it. We have to drop the material consciousness, because otherwise it can't exist. You go crazy. Like, if you even think about, like, you can't.
Yeah, I was looking to go there. Like, I mean, how much the house prices and
No,
all.
Mataji, do it, but you could do it for your retirement, or do it. You could go in every year or something. But the only thing is, you need someone to maintain the house. Like, on a practical level, you need someone to look after it.
Yeah.
Do
I
it.
don't
Do
know
you know
how
what? If
it
you
works.
feel
Like, I was
do it.
asking,
Do it.
I was asking another devotee as well, how they are there, everybody is there. Then she said you should have a good connection with the devotees. Through known devotees, it will be easier. I guess that's what she was mentioning. Like, I mean, her husband also was working as an IT profession, I think, but he can work anywhere, even at home. So it's not necessary to go there to the office and work. So it's easier for them, like, But they are having with the devotees.
Yeah, but it's again, it's a devotee association, and the
Yeah.
thing, yeah. So as long as, even if you go there and have an IT job there, I mean, you still need to, because otherwise, what's the difference between? I mean, obviously there is a difference, because you still get the benefit of being in the dham, but your consciousness, you want to absorb it. Like, when you're in that place, you're wasting it by doing. I think you're wasting it by doing IT stuff. And
Yeah, that is there. But they are just doing for survival, not, I mean, fully onto that. Like, I mean, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Because
yeah, people are doing it. People do it. I know loads of people that moved there, and then they do their work from there. But then eventually they'll leave as well. Like, they can't. You have to be absorbed. I
yeah,
mean,
what
Srila Prabhupada would say that. I mean, for me, because I was single female, it was like, that wasn't maybe appropriate for me. But I think you're a grahesta. You're a grahesta, so you're situated correctly, and therefore that transition isn't, that part of you's already been developed, and you would be like, kind of, you're already doing loads of bhakti here. You would just, the way you would be is like, maybe even if you did work there in the daytime or whatever, then you're naturally, because you're already doing it here, and then there's more association with devotees there, you're more likely then to go, like, slowly wean off your material and then move more into the spiritual. So if you have thought about buying a house there, do it.
I thought about that many years back. Now it's all, if I see again, the prices have gone so up. Like, I mean,
Yeah, people
I
are
saw.
really, yeah. But people are also destroying. I mean, I know you can't never destroy the dam, but some of these vuns and everything, and actually some of the people that are born there, the Rajvasis, they're like, they haven't, because all these foreigners are coming up, their prices have gone up, and they haven't got the same facilities, and that's part is sad as well. So my thing was like, yeah, help develop the dharma, help develop the people.
Yeah, that's what, yeah. Even if you're if you're not married also, Mataji, if you're with devotees like us, then you can go, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I try. Yeah, it is, but it becomes like, say for example, if you want to like when I go, I just normally stay like with my god brothers and sisters, and then eventually, like, if in the daytime, if they're doing something, I can't. No, I just have to wait for them to take me everywhere.
Okay.
Then I became slowly independent. But once I got lost, it's very busy, it's big. There is that practicality of it as well. And then, people just asking you continuous questions. Then it becomes like, it's just like, I just want to chant, like, just leave me alone kind of thing. But people will be like, if they think you're foreign, or they'll ask questions, and people are, that's there a little bit as well. But the if you stay with the family, if you live with them, like them, then you're fine. But you 100% wouldn't have any problems because you're situated correctly. I think you have problems if you're on your own.
Okay.
Somehow, like even like say for example in the Krishna Balaram temple, our Srila Prabhupada's temple, there was like this woman, she came, like maybe she had like 2 grown-up children. She came to the temple and she's like, look, I've left my whole home. She was from one of the neighboring villages. She's like, I've left my home, I just want to dedicate my life to Krishna. And then nobody in ISKCON would let her stay there. They would literally beat the crap out of her, kind of thing. They're like, no, you have to go home. And then she's like, I don't want to go home. She's like, really deep. And we're like, look, you have to leave, otherwise the security is going to take you out. It's become like that now a little bit as well. Like it's, before everybody used to be helpful, and they still are helpful, don't get me wrong, but because so many people are attracted to Vrindavan now, they're actually choosing who they're letting in and who they're not. So yeah, this woman, just because she was on her own, they were like, oh, she's mad. And it's like, no, she wants to be in her devotion. She's left everything. But eventually her husband came to pick her up and everything. But there's loads of people like this. They just, when that bhav it erupts and you just can only see the dham, and all you can do is want Krishna bhakti, and then someone saying to you, no, no, no. There's loads of situations happen, like when you go there and you live there, you see it, you see the begging that goes on, you'll see other things that are quite like
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, so if we do not have any money, any clothing, and is there a way to survive there?
yeah, see, that's talking like a saintly person. Yeah, so there are those sadhus. Yeah, but obviously I can't go and live with a sadhu, can I? No. Yeah, but if you went, say you just decided, I'm just going to go there and I'm just going to focus on, you will meet those people. Krishna will send you those people. He will send you what you need at the time as well. Yeah, so there's people that have lived under trees like Rupa Goswami, and that obviously is very busy. There's people who have done it. You can live there if you go there and you say, I haven't got no clothes, but because it's become so, I can't explain it, because it's been influenced a little bit now. That is the problem, that it should be for those people. Like when Srila Prabhupada went to Radha Damodar temple, the way in which he stayed, the way in which he studied, but now it's not. People will, if you speak to anybody, there's lots of modernization that's happening, like the government is taking a big interest in it. So all the roads have been developed, like the parikrama roads. They're trying to make it safer for everybody. So there's good things happening like that. But if you just want to go and just be a sage there and a saint, not just a saint, but in that you just want to follow, there are hundreds and thousands of ashrams you can join. There are groups of people that will be doing the same thing in ISKCON. So remember, ISKCON is one little sampradaya there. Gaudiya Math is like the Gaudiya Vaishnavas is quite big. There's lots of Bengali devotees from different maths and stuff. ISKCON is one small part of the big pond there, and ISKCON devotees are just, if they know you're an ISKCON devotee, they'll take more money from you. They call it Angrez temple, so they don't actually, to them they're like, is that really Krishna? So that you will notice you're not at the top of the chain anymore, or in terms of devotion. It's more like, this is, they're from foreigners, they've come to the Angrezi temple, they call it, and so in that little bubble of ISKCON you can survive, because then all the ISKCON devotees will be like, okay, I'll take you there, you can do this, you can do that, you can stay here, you can do that, I'll take you to meet this person. And it'll be through ISKCON devotees you can like network your way. If you then start meeting Vrajvasis, they've got a completely different lifestyle, so they don't have all that. Again, it comes down to opulence. They'll be living their Vrajvasi life in Vrindavan in a house which is not like a palace, like Krishna Balaram temple is, or you can also go and serve in any one of the dhams, in any one of the different places. But ISKCON is literally one little sampradaya in the space of so many different sampradayas there. There's so much, like, but that little Vrindavan, that little place that Srila Prabhupada has got, like the Parikramarg, it's called Parikramarg, or the Bhaktivedanta Marg. It's beautiful because it's right in the center. You've got Yamuna behind, and then you've got your the Banki Bihari temple and all the 6 Goswami temples. So that area is just really nice. And there you will meet a lot of ISKCON devotees. But saying that, if you just want to stick to ISKCON devotees, the better place to go is Mayapur, because you've got the whole complex. That's just ISKCON devotees. That's just Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, disciples and disciples staying there. It's like a little village they've created. That's just ISKCON devotees. And then you've got all the Yog Beat, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime places around. That's all outside. So that's into Bengal, that's into Navdweep. Whereas Vrindavan, everybody's there. It's everybody's. So you've got all the tourists, you've got the saints, you've got the sadhus, you've got the work people there. It's maybe lost some of the bhakti. But if you can stay like that, if you just go there without anything, Krishna will open doors for you. There's 100%, like, you have to see your situation, you have to see your consciousness, where it's at. If you feel like you can just do that, again, you have to be practical as well. You will probably end up joining a group of sadhus or someone that's already doing that, and then you are likely to join them. If you're, say, for example, a widow, you're likely to join a group of people that is the same as you. If you're a brahmacharini, you're likely to join groups of females. If you're you're likely to join whatever's in your kind of sphere. If you're a grahestha, you're likely to have more engagement around the temple areas. And Krishna will open doors, like wherever you go. If I go to Govardhan every day this week, every experience I have will be completely different, because Krishna will show me something different. You can live there. People have like houses there, like all of these places that I've shown today, like Govardhan, it's got its whole all the different villages around it, all the people that live there, the schools there, all their local facilities there. It will have like basic shops. It's nothing like a town. It's nothing like a mall. So I think you guys are from Bangalore, and if you're from Bangalore, I don't know, Chennai, isn't it? It's got none of the big superstores or anything like that. But because some of the ISKCON devotees are there, then now they've got like a little gym, and they've got a few different places. But it's nothing like a big city. But hopefully it never will be. But it has to maintain as the dham. I don't think people will I don't think the Rajvasis they're too strong. They won't allow like too much outside influence to affect it. But like even when you go to the schools, like I used to teach they used to teach me rather, the Goswami children, that are part of the lineage of the Goswamis, and those children, they're so clever. Like some of them were 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They knew much more than me. They're smarter than us. Well, especially me. Everything about them is just more super. Those kids are going to grow up. They're going to want to preserve the dham. And once they realize, like, obviously what the invaders and stuff did, they kind of tried to destroy some of our heritage. When they kind of realize that no, this is our heritage, is really, when they start valuing it, those people are going to like protect that dham like anything. You can see it.
it will, you know, it's a dham. It's where the Lord of the whole creation did his pastimes. He's still there. You'll feel him at every time. These places will be protected, and I think they do say that Vrindavan eventually will diminish and Mayapur is going to come up, but it might diminish in the sense that it won't have that. It will go a little bit quiet for a little while, like Navdweep went a bit quiet. In the same way, that's gonna. They say that the moon is rising in Navdweep at the moment, and Vrindavan, it's just gonna. But there is no place like Vrindavan. If you stay in Barsana like for a week, when you leave that place, you can't leave it. You'll be crying. You're so attached to it. It's like being in Vrindavan is like being in your home, and everything else that you know in your life up until now is all nonsense. It's when you're in a place like that, you can actually feel like, oh, I'm home. I'm finally home. This is what that hole inside you, that yearning rather, it diminishes because you're there. It's like, oh, I've made it. So if anyone's feeling like they should be in the dham, by all means take measures to put that into place, because there is no, if you pass away in the dham, you don't, you know, if we start looking at the scripture, you don't ever have to come back. You're going to go straight to Goloka, or you know.
Mataji, so just one question. If we wanted to live in Barsana, so just a kind of a small room, or so does that cost money? Like, for example, as a rented home or something like that? So just thinking, if you do not have any job in Barsana, so just wanted to live like that.
Yeah, I think, you know, sometimes you can just find a place. Someone might just give it to you free. There's a lot of little ashrami places, and if you actually do decide to go there, the Barsana Vasis will take you on. They will look after you. You can have a room, or if you have to pay rent, it's no more than in Barsana. It's very cheap. I was living in Vrindavan for £100 a month. That was being opulent in Vrindavan. I had a room that like a triple size room with a kitchen, with a bathroom, modern bathroom, shower, everything modern, with a little storeroom, and in Keshavkund, which is right opposite Krishna Balram temple, key location. The only thing that included my bills. The only thing I didn't do was I wasn't allowed to use AC because the bill was too high for me, because I left so I left my job and I was like, I just decided to do that. That's all I want to do is go to Vrindavan. I don't care about anything else. I just want to focus on that. And for £100, and I used to work in a school, so obviously I started using up my savings quickly. It's very easy to use up your savings very fast. But if you can just save a little bit, even if you could just live off the interest, you will be fine. But yes, and you can rent a room in Barsana for less than £20 a month, I would say, £20-30. I was living in Mayapur for £30 a month.
And so from Barsana, if you live in Barsana, is it easy to access all holy places, Mataji, like Radha?
If you live in Barsana, you will not want to leave Barsana, but you can go to Govardhan in like 30 minutes.
By walk.
You can't. Everyone can walk, and you can walk anywhere in India. But Govardhan will take you 30 minutes by car. It will take you about 2 hours by walk.
Right. Okay.
If you live in Barsana, so you got the road. It goes straight to Govardhan. So the whole of Raj Parikrama, imagine you had a car. You could do in 2.5 hours from any angle. The whole of it, including Barsana, Gokul, Mathura, Govardhan, Vrindavan. You can do in 2.5 hours, like one place to another. So say you got London, obviously. Say you want
You go from
Ma-
like West London to East London, like that. Yeah.
One question, Mataji. So where can I easily find Krishna and Radharani so to stay there?
You will find them everywhere. There's no way you won't find them. There's just your consciousness they will take your consciousness completely. You will there's times when you will talk to Radharani and it's like she's just there. It's like I was telling her about when I got initiated. On that day of initiation, I was so struggling. Like my material consciousness was so poor. My spiritual consciousness was so poor, I'd say. And to the point where, like, I don't know how I ended up there to get my initiation. And on that day, I'm still saying to one of my godbrothers, I'm like, I don't think I'm pure enough for this. I don't think I'm ready. And he said, look, just come. That day when I was praying to Radharani, I was just like, I really don't know what I'm doing. And then you have to just surrender, and then she takes over. All I saw on that day was just her. She's everywhere. There is no place she isn't. She takes you under her wing. Once you surrender yourself to her, you don't actually have to worry about anything. Even your place will happen. Anytime you go to, if you surrender to her, or I was in Mayapur and this is one woman, she bullied me so much. She bullied me so much. I can't explain it to you. But the minute you surrender, someone will just come along and say, oh, just move in here. Everybody is there to support you. The consciousness is different. It doesn't work like here. If you stay there, everybody will help you. Every single Radharani is everywhere. You will see her through people, in people, around you. The energy, you'll feel it. Like you just think something and it will happen. Your consciousness is so clear, and you keep keeping it clear. The more you engage in material, the more you don't change your consciousness, the worse it becomes for you. So the minute I say something like, oh, it's so hot, I can't get through this, it's like, then it really will become hot. But if you just think, oh no, it's quite fine, you don't think about the weather, it's actually the coolest breeze will come. She's everywhere. Radharani and Krishna, there's no place they are not. You'll see them, you'll feel them, you'll understand them. Sometimes you can just talk to the deity. It's like it's directly talking back to you. Especially like after you stay there a long time and you haven't really, like for me, I wasn't really talking that much. And it's like in the morning, you just go there. It's like when you're doing arti every day. Oh, it's like, oh, Radharani, I've come to see you. It's like you just come there. They're your friend. You're just talking to them. And if you don't go, it's like you understand their mood. Like especially in Mayapur when I used to stay there as well. Sometimes you look at Radharani and she looks really sad, and sometimes she looks really happy. You get so in tune with the predominant, that transcendental, that barrier between the gunas becomes dissolved more and more and more and more. The longer you stay, and if you don't get involved in all the nonsense because there's so much that can really just fry your brain as well. If you don't get involved in it, you just stick to the bhakti, you just stick to the dharma, you stick to your path. And what's the other thing? All these, how you do everything in structure. That structure goes out of your mind. It's so open. You're just fully connected. It's madhurya bhav. It's not like here, like we have to stick to sadhana gurus. So that's what Srila Prabhupada was saying, like, oh, don't go and become a Babaji in Radhakund, because everything is just, you're a sadhu, then you're completely. But he said do systematic until you're ready, then Raganuga Bhakti will come. That's when you're spontaneously, you just, everything is just spontaneous. And in Vrindavan, the only thing is, never ever go to Vrindavan as the controller. In here, yes, you can control this much, you can control that much. Even here we find it difficult, but we have a little element of control here.
If you go to Vrindavan, you're in control of nothing. You have to surrender yourself. You have to be in there. Even forget you even have a body. Like, just your consciousness has to just be absorbed in them. Like, and then whatever's happening, like, everything is working on bhakti. It doesn't work like it works here. You don't wake up in the morning, you don't do your chanting and then go to work and then, make your food, and it doesn't work like that. It's like, oh, it's Krishna, he's going to wake up, I need to do this for that before he do that. Then what is Krishna telling me to do today? What's Krishna telling me? What's happening? Where am I being inspired? What does he want me to do? What does she want me to do? And then you're going with the flow, and then any little mood you take, it will take you. So today, I'll just go to Nandgaon, or today I'll just go and do this, or you let them control you. You can't. The more you control it, the more you use your mind, the more you use your intellect, the harder it is to transcend the ego and all that. Like, just there'll be a point where, like, if now for ages when people say, oh, where are you from, it was like Vrindavan, because that becomes your home. You don't have any, the ego is completely dissolved there. Like, it just can't stay. And you will notice the people that use their ego in Vrindavan, they're usually the people that no one will ever eventually speak to. You have to be so light there. Even as you're traveling, the rickshaws, there's all rather. Everybody's sweet. Everybody's doing in Seva Bhav. This is Radharani's place. This is how we serve her. This is, like, nobody uses their ego there at all, really, generally, because they know that they're living in Radharani's dham. Like,
Yes, Mataji. I just want to share one of our experience. Like when
yeah,
we were first time going to Vrindavan, we don't know anyone. We just just blindly landed on
yeah,
there.
yeah,
And then we went to the ISKCON temple there. And suddenly a devotee came
yeah.
and he started talking to us. Where are you from? I can take you to all the temples and all.
Yes,
He
yes, yeah.
started telling, as you said, you can see Radha and his mercy everywhere. Radha and Krishna are there everywhere. Like this is our experience. And then he started to bring us prasadam, and then evening dinner prasadam, everything he arranged for us.
Yeah.
And then he also arranged a rickshaw for us to go through the Radha Raman temple, and then
Yeah.
Radha Damodar temple, and all these temples, Like we were so fascinated, like what's going on? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, we never expected that. My husband doesn't know Hindi much, but I know some Hindi. Um, we were just that devotee from nowhere. He came to us and he started asking everything, and then we joined him actually. He was there in Vrindavan, our ISKCON temple only, and then he just came to us, and then he started to speak to us. I don't know, there were so many peoples as
So
well.
Krishna tells, this is the thing, Krishna, everything that's happening in the dham is through sanctioned by Krishna or Radharani.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. Like it was like a magic.
Yeah, it's magic, isn't it? You don't have to think for yourself even. Like, you
Yeah,
just don't think.
yeah. It was yeah.
And in
Want to go
every
to
respect,
Vrindavan, like
Krishna
I'm.
looks after you there. Krishna looks after you, even if you don't go as, like, just on holiday. Krishna, whichever situation you're in there,
Yeah,
as long as you don't use your mind, Krishna takes care of it.
yeah.
The more the surrender,
Hmm.
and I think at that point you are hitting in Vrindavan, you're 100% hitting more towards Raganuga Bhakti.
Yeah, but I was very new at that time. Like, I mean, I
Yeah,
was
but
not
never,
pure enough. Like,
yeah,
like,
but Krishna still, but he still takes care of you, isn't it? Like, there's never a time when Krishna doesn't take care of you.
yeah,
When you know of Rajvasi, they have, not one way, they have to be nice to you, because if they're not nice to you, they will get some sort of reaction as well.
Mm.
Like they are so pure. They're always, you know, Vajrayasi speaks to you so sweetly. It doesn't matter who he is, even when they swear they speak sweetly.
Yeah.
Everything, even in their language, it's all, you know, Vrajvas is sweet because there's no negative. Mostly, there's no negative intention behind anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even, you know, like a person, you know, those people that they're really, really thin, and then they're riding those bikes, and then they make you sit on the bike because, you know, obviously they're just doing seva, and no one will, you know, no one ever mugs anyone off in Vrindavan. You know, I've been so many times, and everybody, apart from one time, the vegetable people sometimes are a bit expensive if they think you're foreign.
Yeah, I heard this story as well. One of the devotee was saying, like, if they find someone as a foreigner, they just try to, they don't, if they speak in English, they don't know Hindi, then they will try to ask for more money, something like
Yeah.
that. Then if he
Sometimes.
knows Hindi, then okay, yeah, okay, he is from India, something they'll think, and then they go off like that. Something he was
Yeah.
saying to us. So it's a really, yeah, it's a good place
But
to
so
stay.
if you feel inspired to go and live there, the thing is, you will never want to leave. It's the hardest part of Vrindavan is when you have to leave.
Yeah. I was recently watching Indra Prabhu's videos and lectures, and he was 24 hours doing kirtan there, like
Yeah,
every day.
because there's no tiredness there. Like,
No tiredness, and
no.
I don't know. He starts to chant first 120, rounds a day, and then he goes for the kirtan, outside kirtan, and then he comes back at 10:30 in the night, and then he has 1,200 to 2,000 shaligram shilas and Gauranitai deities, and then Radha Krishna deities as well. And now he has to do puja for them, and he does after 10:30 p.m. He does puja for them, and then he starts cooking for them and offer boga, and then he never sleeps. I think
Yeah, because you don't feel you
constantly he
because
was
you're in her energy. That's the thing. You're in Radharani's energy. Like I said to you, like I used to cook.
yeah,
I used to cook for all these people 3 meals a day, and sometimes even do for festivals on my own. I mean, then sometimes I did get help, but I used to, somehow I just got the energy to do it. And if someone told me to do that here, I would be like dead.
yeah, definitely, yeah. This is
You
highly
know,
material, so it's we can't compare like
you
any.
can't, because you don't even have to think. Even if you just cooking something, it's not even you cooking. If
Yeah,
that makes sense, it's not you. It's what you. It's coming through you. It's not you.
yeah. I think
Hare
Sash
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Sash, is that Mataji or Prabhu?
Mataji.
Sash Mataji? Is it Sashi? Hare Krishna? Sorry, is it Amol Prabhu, do you want to ask? Hare Krishna?
Sh- Hare Krishna
Would you
Mataji.
like to
Shash Mataji.
unmute? Yeah, would you like to unmute? Yeah.
I think Mataji.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for your graciously sharing your wisdom and insight about God. Such a warm and illuminating path. You know, it's such a nice things to hear from you that you've been to Vrindavan, and you know, one day probably, you know, we'll have a chance to see Krishna and Radha.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's such a lovely things that you've said. I'm actually deeply grateful for the
Oh,
time. Yeah.
thank you. And you must go to Vrindavan. That's when you really going to Vrindavan, it changes you. Like I can't explain it. You must go there to experience it if you haven't been. And
Actually, I have been to, you know, where the Prem Mandir is.
yes, yeah.
Up to there, that's it.
So
Um,
that's all you've been to, Prem Mandir.
So what happened? It was my son's Janui. We went
Yeah.
to celebrate in Gujarat, and from
Yeah.
there we had lots of family from UK.
Yeah.
We all traveled down there. But it was Christmas. I don't know. We wanted to go inside, but it was raining, so foggy, and the taxi driver just refused to take us inside. So we had to decide to. It's just a bad luck, you can say. But one day,
No, don't say that. Don't say that. The fact that
Mhm.
you went there
Yeah,
is really amazing. And next time you ask Krishna to show you a bit more
yeah,
because you see,
definitely.
that's a very one little dot on but the Jagat Kripalu Maharaj, he is like, so he's the way I mean, that's one of the biggest temples in Vrindavan,
Yeah,
Prem Mandir. I didn't show it on my thing. I just showed the pastime places, but he's got beautiful. I mean, he's created a Disneyland
yeah,
for Krishna consciousness, and I mean, it is a very beautiful temple. Even in Barsana, he's got an ashram there as well. It's the biggest in Vrindavan, I think, and his teaching is that you don't need a guru. You just focus on Krishna Radha Bhakti, and you go
yeah,
straight. Um, and that temple is, and he again is from the Gaudiya. He's from the Bengal side as well. I think he's Gaudiya Mat, or he would. I don't know if he's Gaudiya Mat, but he's from Bengal side, and he's from there. And I mean, he's a very, he knows. I mean, he knows. I don't know if they say he's. I don't know. I don't know if I've heard someone say he's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I don't know, but
really.
um,
Wow.
I don't know. Those things I don't know, but um his ashrams are like, people just buy a room in them. I think they just buy the room to stay. And
Yeah,
um that ashram is really nice as well. I mean, it's huge. It's absolutely huge,
yeah.
even
The
in
temple is
Barsana.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then they do Gopi Geet every morning, and they do all the prayers, and so they're all following, but they don't have Guru Parampara. They just say that his teaching was that you can just go straight to Krishna and Radharani. And that's what I'm
right.
saying. In Vrindavan, there's so many sampradayas, but next time you pray to Krishna to take you to
Yeah,
all of the places, and you go for a long time, like go for 2 weeks at least first.
yeah,
Start with 2 weeks. Go if you go to ISKCON, they'll have like tours and stuff you can go on, or you could just ask somebody here. We all know people that do, we know Rajvasis that take people around and stuff.
yeah,
Go with them,
yeah,
then you understand, and then you also get their bhakti as well, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because they're in it, they're giving you the bhakti, aren't they? If someone's
100%.
talking to you and they're talking about bhakti and you're in Vrindavan, they're giving you their experience, yeah?
Yeah,
So you get part of their bhakti inside you. So when you're talking, that's when I know, like, oh, this person told me this person told me that, and I experienced this, I experienced that. So you will have your own, and then Krishna as Paramatma, he's pulling you into different places. He wants you to see different things. He's opening up things. Um, I mean, like I said, I just talked about a spot of
yeah,
things I know, but it's every day. It's magical. It's the experience. Just go there. Give Krishna time. Don't have your own agenda. Then let
yeah,
him do it. If you use your mind, then you go to the places you just think, oh, I have to go to there, tick, 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 tick. If you just say no, let's just do it properly. Don't go with normal holiday mood. Go with bhakti mood,
yeah,
and then you will see the difference. That's why it says that the dham you should go with someone who's an established devotee. And the fact that you've even seen Jagat Kripalu Maharaj's ashram, that's big, because he was a spiritual leader. He was a spiritual person. That's what in Vrindavan, there's so many sampradayas, there's so many
yeah,
different things. Everybody's going to tell you something different. everybody's gonna, but you just have to keep your focus on Krishna, Radha, Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna.
Yeah.
And again, the other, for me, the first 3-4 times I went, I wasn't initiated, but then after I was initiated, and my guru lives in Vrindavan, so for me it was like I got like, you get security from your guru as well, like his presence.
Yeah.
So you're just taking that blessing there, and then you're kind of protected as well in the dham. So if your guru is there and you're under his shelter, it helps. Like Srila Prabhupada, he takes, you just go and pray to him in the morning, at least go and pray to him, and then you're under your guru's protection, or under your sampraday's protection.
So how do you find a guru there? Do you actually have to
Okay, so if you're going to go for any, like, you have to make sure it's a bona fide sampradaya. So anybody that's living in Vraj, probably they are like they're either linked to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. That's what we are. Like, it's linked to Lord Brahma. It goes back to Lord Brahma, and then it goes back to Krishna. Then there's the Rudra Sampradaya. So you'll see a lot of devotees there that are from the Vallabhacharya sampradayas. So they'll do different songs. They have their places are the same, but they do things differently. So say like in Gaudiya, we start, like, say the Govardhan Parikrama, we started from Radhakund and finish at Radhakund. But the Vallabhacharya Prabhu's disciples, they start it in a different place, they finish it in a different place. They have they have a different route, but they just do things differently.
Yeah.
So that lineage goes back to, that starts from Lord Shiva, and then that goes back to Krishna. And then you have the Sri Sampradaya. There's not so many Sri Sampradaya. There's the Sri Rangam temple, and that, yeah, there is Sri Sampradaya as well. So you see people from their Sampradaya there. That's coming from Lakshmi Devi. And then you have like the Char Sanat Kumar. So if you're Gujarati, like, you'll know Morari Bapu and all them, yeah?
Yeah.
So they're linked to the, I think, from what my understanding is, they're linked to the Char Sanat Kumars. Their gurus at Nimbakacharya, wasn't he? I
No
think
idea.
they're linked. So that's why. And so when you link to guru, like, you have more access. So say if I say my guru's mantra, if I say Krishna's mantra, or Srila Prabhupada's mantra, or like you go through the prayers, then when you're speaking gatha or whatever, it's not really you speaking, it's the sampradaya speaking through you. So it's not you, it's coming through you. So
Right.
you get in easier access to that spiritual knowledge. And I think, from my understanding, is you still have to develop your own devotion, but access to knowledge becomes easier through that line of disciplic succession. But you still have to develop your devotion. You still have to go through that journey. I think whether you're initiated or you're not initiated, you're still developing your bhakti. Because if you think about it, if you're not initiated, you still have bhakti inside you. It doesn't go anywhere. It's still developing within you. So that's a continuous process. But then once you link to a guru or a sampradaya, or then what happens is that you get access to that knowledge. So say if you link to Srila Prabhupada's or through ISKCON, like, you'll have all his texts, you'll have his books, but but more important than that, but just by saying his mantra, you get the potency of your guru as well. So
Right.
it's not, it's like they kind of take charge of your body, not your body, they take charge of your speech. Or it's not you, then it's not,
It's the
does
guru.
that make sense? It's not your,
Yeah.
it's not you, it's coming through you. And it's the same with, like, when you're in Vrindavan and you're cooking, your body's activated in the same way as it would be here when you're cooking, but actually your body's is being controlled. If you're cooking for certain deities, or if you're cooking, you're serving, your body gets kind of, you become, how do you say it? You become empowered to cook more, or it's you get that
it's a different feeling.
different feeling. It's not coming it's not you, it's coming through you.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can explain it. Like if you're singing,
Yeah.
it's like you're just singing, but it's not like you're focused on the singing necessarily. It's just coming through you. It's like it's not, you're just a vessel, you're an instrument in somebody else's hand.
Yeah.
It's that, I think that, I don't know how everybody else feels about that, like as being an initiated devotee. Do you guys feel like you just link to your guru and then it just comes? I don't know.
Yes, Mataji. Like, yeah, definitely if we keep Guru in our mind, he just really connects with the parampara and then to Radha Krishna. So, yeah, it's a different level. Yeah, one should take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master. So the process will be much, much easier to attain Radha and Krishna rather than we be without guru, like that's what I personally feel. Like there are so many sampradayas, like as you said, and then some of them, even I also know that some of them say that you don't need a guru for attaining Radha and Krishna. You can just worship them and then they will take. But in my experience, I used to ask myself as well whether really guru is needed, or whether is it not the Paramatma can help us. So many questions before initiation also, sometimes after initiation also, I used to think. But now I came to a very clear understanding that because there were so many steps we should cross to reach Radha and Krishna. The purification is a lifetime process, life after lifetime. There is so many purification steps, and we get confused in this material world, what is right and what is wrong, and how to take the decisions and all these things. At that point of time, you really, if this is so confused, then one can imagine the spiritual knowledge will be how much deep and how much vast that our tiny brain cannot accommodate that. So in that case, really guru is needed who has seen already Krishna face to face, and he's representative of Krishna. So it makes much more easier to travel the material ocean. So you should everybody should take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master. That's very important. Sometimes we get lost in our material things, even though we do some spiritual activities, but still the Maya is very powerful. So yeah, but there are few devotees, they say there's no need of guru. Like, I mean, they are also following strongly, but not a one size fit for everyone. Like, yeah, according to Shastras, the guru is really, really important. That's
And
why,
even Krishna, and
yeah, even
he had
Krishna,
Sandipani
Chaitanya
Muni and
Mahaprabhu, yeah,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah.
everybody has taken, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a real proof as well. Like, I mean,
Can
And
Hanumanji be your guru?
yeah, I've heard that as well, because when I was little, I didn't know any guru, I didn't know nothing. And then
Yeah.
everyone says if you don't have a guru, if you focus on Lord Hanuman, because Lord
Yeah.
Hanuman obviously is Lord Shiva's ansh as well. So again, you are kind of following a bona fide guru to a certain degree, but then once you start following and worshipping Lord Shiva, he will eventually bring you to Lord Krishna anyway.
Right.
So even if you do that first, like this is the thing, like he's a devotee. If you follow in the footsteps of a devotee, of
Yeah.
course it's all good, everything is good, whatever, like it's not good, but I know Hanuman has represented good. Hanuman is Chiranjeevi as well, so he's with us. So when we're singing Lord's names,
Yeah. He's always.
he's present. Yeah, so he's Chiranjeevi, he's here, he's with us, and he's heading us. He's here. The sole purpose of him being here is to help the bhakts on this earth.
Yeah.
And that's why Lord Ram, when he retired for his abode, he actually left Hanuman in charge of that. So
Yeah.
and so yeah, like we can. And Hanuman, I 100%, if you can connect to Hanuman, I know
Yeah.
what you mean, like, because I felt that and I felt guided by him. But then once I came into Krishna Bhakti, then I do still sing my, like, you know, Hanuman prayers and everything, but I don't feel like it's now I'm home now. That's what I mean. You know, when you say we're home,
Yeah.
I got to the place he needed to take me to.
Right.
And then it's the same with Lord Shiva and Mata, you know, you're Gujarati, so I'm just being, you're going through the same channel as I did. But you know, she will take you out of material, then she will, the material energy will not be as strong, and she will help you. Then Yogmaya, you know, in so this is the thing in Vrindavan, and the Yogmaya's potency works there as well. So Leela is always happening. So like Krishna, he doesn't know he's baby Krishna. So his mom, you know, she sees the Yogmaya is acting. So we
Yeah.
come out of that Mahamaya, you know, when you don't chant and everything. Say, for example, one day I don't chant. I walk out into the street. I'm like, I want this clothes. I like this clothes. I like those clothes. I like this, because my senses are all over the place. Yeah. But if you
Yeah.
chant, you got protection from that material energy. Yeah, you're not, those
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
are not going to pull on you. It's this, okay, I'm not just using the thing about clothes, but that's with anything.
Yeah.
If you chant, your attachments aren't going to pull you so much, because you've created a barrier, you've created a protection around yourself with the holy name. So you're not going to be so disturbed by things. You're not,
Yeah.
and your focus is going to be more on Krishna. And then when the Maya starts becoming less and less and less, the Mahamaya, yeah, the one that controls us and keeps us
Yeah.
here, when she becomes less, then Yogmaya, then you start going to spiritual topics, and then that Yogmaya takes over. And then in Vrindavan, you're completely under Radharani's mercy there. Like, if you're surrendered to her, you're under service, you're under her. So Hanuman, he will take you through the struggles, he'll take you through the obstacles. He will show us the strength of the name of Lord Ram. Like, if
Yeah.
we, you know, if we're going through, how do we cross it? You know, Hanuman is perfect, and he will guide us. He won't let
Yeah.
us down.
Yeah.
But eventually, I think if you have a person guru, yeah, of course it helps. Like, if you have the question to ask, you can ask
Yeah.
Hanuman, and I'm sure Hanuman will.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll get an answer. But if you have a person, you can. Okay, this is how I
You can
understand
connect
guru to
more.
me. I didn't want to get initiated. To be honest with you, I was, like I've said it loads, I was like, I'm just going to focus on Srila Prabhupada's books. I was fine with that. And I'm like, that's enough for me. And I really wasn't that interested in initiation. And then I read this one book called Guru Tattva. If your guru is bona fide, any guru, doesn't matter what sampradaya they're from, if they will be saying the same thing, they will be linking Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. If they're speaking anything against Shastra, if they're speaking anything against the norm, then that
Yeah.
guru is not bona fide. And any guru, including mine, and if I was a guru, including me, and even any person can fall down from that, yeah, as well. So the guru
Yeah.
is not, yeah, they're like a representative of Krishna, 100%, but they
Yeah.
can fall down. And in ISKCON, unfortunately, the scenario was such after Srila Prabhupada left. But if a guru is bona fide, they're linked to Balram. Guru Tattva links back to Lord Balram or Krishna, and you know, as long as they're following their guru, Sadhu and Shastra,
Yeah.
then it's okay. You can leave your guru if your guru is fallen as well. It's not that you can't leave. And there's this one book, I read it, it was in Mayapur, I read it, it was by Gaur Govind Goswami Maharaj, who was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada as well. And he wrote it like, your guru is basically, you can be a guru, I can be a guru, Prabhu can be a guru, Mataji, we're all gurus to a certain degree. Like that, Srila Prabhupada said he expected everyone to be a guru. I mean, obviously I'm not so
Yeah, there are
stupid.
there are
Yeah,
two gurus, like on Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. We have multiple Siksha Gurus.
yeah,
Like RadhaSevika Mataji was telling, everybody is Guru. That means more Siksha Gurus. So through Siksha Guru, you learn many things as well. Diksha Guru is a guru who gives the mantra, but the Siksha Guru is the actual guru who can teach us how to progress in your spiritual life. So both are very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, both is really important, and everybody's, your mom is a guru. You know, the person who told you first about Krishna, anyone who tells you about Krishna is guru. The diksha is the initiation. It's a formal process where you're kind of saying, like, okay, I'm gonna take these 4 vows. So for us in ISKCON, it's like no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. And then you do the things that are good for you. So you have to chant 16 rounds a day. You have to do certain things. You know, you're supposed to read and follow, do a bit of service, and you know, different things that are going to be favorable for your devotion. So in that respect, it's the do's and the don'ts.
Yeah.
Of that's what the formal process then starts looking like. And then when you start reading things like Nectar of Instruction, it says, okay, you know, these qualities are not good for you, those qualities, try to get rid of them. And then you go through different stages. So you have anartha nivritti. So the first thing that happens, mainly, like when I was initiated, I don't know, Mataji, if it's the same with you as well, your anarthas, they all start popping up. So all your bad qualities, they come quickly, and I think they're getting released from you. Anartha nivritti is a long stage. It can take years, it can probably take lifetimes. But like for me at the beginning, it was very unstable. Like my anartha, I didn't even know I had the anarthas. Like I thought I was perfect, obviously, like you do. And all these, you know,
Not only you,
jealous-
Mataji. Me sometimes.
as you do, you
When
know,
we go deeper and deeper, we start, okay, now
yeah.
I came to know this, and oh no, I'm so bad.
Yeah, like you think, oh my God, like you think you're a monster at one time. Like you think you're like absolutely crazy.
Because I'm chanting, everything I'm doing for Krishna, everything is perfect. Oh,
Yeah,
then
everything is perfect. Like I'm so yeah, you're like, you go through this, you know, I don't have jealousy inside me. I don't have anger inside me. Like you go through all these things, and then Krishna just smacks you down. He's like, boom, 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 look, 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 and then he shows you the mirror. Like it is, you know, Cheto Darpana Manjana. Like you start cleaning, and then you become more you know, you even think that you have humility, but until you're like deep in kind of crap, you don't realize like how humility even comes about. And then slowly, and then you become fixed, and then you go through nishta, so bhajana kriya, being around association of devotees, then that helps your anarthas get a little bit less. And then bhajana kriya, nishta, when you become fixed, and then ruchi, like you start getting a taste for it, a deeper taste. Not, you know, at the moment you've got a certain taste, it becomes a different taste. Like at the moment you've got that enthusiasm, but then as it gets refined, your ruchi, your taste becomes more. Then you experience bhava and stuff. But I mean, obviously they're like very high stages, and there's a process within bhakti as well.
Mataji, one thing, Mataji.
Huh?
When we reach the stage of Baba, this I was recently, I wanted to find out where I'm in, am I doing properly everything? So I used to read this Madhurya Kadambini book, the stages given. And then also, I was recently watching Banuswami Maharaj lecture. He was giving the stages. And he was telling that when you reach at the Baba stage, you will see Krishna in your heart. When the Baba gets more and more condensed into prema, then you see Krishna face to face. So it's a very clear indication where we can be.
Yeah, that's very clear, isn't it? That is absolutely
exactly.
clear. Like you will
That's
see,
amazing.
you will have.
Anartha Nivriti is the very, very longest. But of course, as the
Oh,
Anartha
Anita Nivriti is the oh, if that one just got sloshed quickly, oh my God, we would be in like Anarta Nivriti is the worst one.
Yeah.
It's the
That's-
worst phase.
That's when we start to release our karmas, then we start to get glimpse of Krishna as well. It's a kind of parallel process that you
Yeah.
will feel really. Yeah.
I see Krishna everywhere.
Yeah.
No, on a, it's like a stone. Everywhere I go, I see a face, and I I pick it up and bring it home. And I don't know, it's been happening long time. So, I put chandan and it looks exactly like Krishna. So I put in we have a small temple in the house, and I put it there, and I asked my children, do you see Krishna? And they see, Mama, it's a face. But where did you find the stone? I don't know. I was just everywhere I go, I find a stone and that has a face. Something going on. And I'm lost. However, I mean, I have got lots of feelings for Krishna where, that I'm not taking a guru, but Hanumanji is always like, as my family is like Jagannath Dham Puri. So, I've taken Hanumanji from very young age, and I always see, Hanumanji taking me to Ram Bhagwan and taking me to Krishna. I always connect myself to there, although I've been going to ISKCON South London for a long time. And I do pray Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belongs to Jagannath Dham Puri, where my family belongs to Jagannath Dham Puri, although we are Gujarati. That's a long story. But yeah, so it's a little bit connected. And, I feel bhav by looking at everywhere I see. Even I have apple tree, and I see the apple trees like Krishna standing there all the time. And I'm asking my family, do you see Krishna? Can you see the Krishna's eyes looking? And they look, yeah, they look curious, and they keep looking at the tree saying, yeah, we see Krishna. Like I have to keep asking them. So I don't know, something really,
Very
it's
nice,
been,
Mataji. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But one thing, like if that's the stage you have come, then you have to really cultivate more and more. That's very
right,
important again, because in Baba stage also, there is not the anarthas have not fully gone, but most of them have gone.
right,
Only in prema stage that the full anarthas have gone. So what you are telling, I can sense that you are seeing Krishna everywhere,
yeah,
which means it's a kind of bhava, like you need to cultivate your relationship with Krishna, what kind of mood you wanted to have to enter into the relationship, all these things. Yeah.
thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, you should read more, Mataji. I don't know if you'd already read, but it will make so much other, like bhakti it's ever increasing.
Yeah,
It doesn't stop. There's no like end point.
yeah,
It's new and it's fresh, and it's like when you see Krishna at the temple and then you see him again and again and again, he always looks new and new and new. And that's what I think bhakti is like that as well. Like, and those moods that you've got now,
yeah.
remember them and always keep them, because that's Krishna connecting with you and you connecting as to him. Like, but there's still another process. I know what Supriya Premati is trying to say. She's trying to say like even like, yes, there's that stage, and then there's this other stage where like these anartas that you don't even know that just pop up. Like, it's like a blind spot, isn't it? Is that the best way to explain it, Supriya Gopi Mantaji?
Definitely,
blind-
Mataji. Yes, you're right. Like it's very deep core into our heart, which doesn't
Yeah.
come to the surface immediately.
Yeah.
Like imagine there is a big block of dirt near your sink or wherever it is. If you're going to clean the dirt, it's going to remove first the external surfaces, and then the deep one is the very hard one. So
Yeah, those
a lot
ones
of
are
Yeah, that's nice example. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
what I
even
used
know
to
it's
imagine.
like you don't even know. It's like, oh my God, it just pops up and it's like, oh, and that's like a novel. It's just a different, and sometimes you feel like you're going crazy. Sometimes you don't even you feel like you were better before that phase happened, but then after a few years it's kind of settles and becomes a little bit more easier. But you spot it quickly, you know how to it's about you surrendering, and that process is about you surrendering more to Krishna as well.
Yeah.
And seeing him like in it's actually first becoming conscious and then Krishna conscious.
Mhm.
Like you become conscious of things that you didn't even like, and even though that's not really important, and then your service, like you say, like you start serving in like what Supriya Gopi Priya Mataji said, like she said you start serving in a certain mood.
Yeah.
So there's like 5 different relationships or few different relationships we can have with Krishna. So either in Madhurya Bhav or Vatsalya Bhav, or so parental, conjugal love, as a servant, as a friend, as a neutral, and
Yeah. As a Bhakshalya Bhav.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a higher, and then Krishna inside will reveal what your spiritual form is.
Mhm.
And then when you know what your spiritual form is, you can your Nitya Seva will be revealed to you as well. So like Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj, like he's like a manjari in the spiritual world. So then he's focused on that. And depending on in our sampradaya, say for example, like we're following Rupa Nuga, and like he's Rupa Manjari in the spiritual world. So you follow in the bhav of the gopis. So I think different sampradayas. I think like Vallabh Acharya Prabhu's one. It's like Laddu Gopal, but they have like Mahaprabhu Betak and stuff like that as well. So different sampradayas, I think, worship. So Sri Sampradaya is probably more awe and reverence. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just assuming it is because of the fact that it's Sri Sampradaya. But what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to do was bring all of the 4 sampradayas together.
Yeah.
And his guru was from the Gaudiya, so Madhavendra Puri, Ishwarapuri, they're all
Ishwarapuri.
from the Gaudiya Sampradaya, and he was linked to that Sampradaya. So he tried to bring all the sampradayas together anyway. So it doesn't matter how you link, but the main thing is that you have to be linked. You have to be in association with a devotee or devotees from, it could be that sampradaya or multiple sampradayas. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. But you have to be in connection to devotees so that you don't fall back into material. So if
Yeah.
I don't know what you do as a job, but if your job is certain thing and you're only associating with a certain group of people, then you're
Yeah.
not having interaction with devotees. Therefore, your devotion, slowly, you'll just be thinking about other things.
Right.
Yeah. So therefore, you must be in association of devotees. Devotee association is very, very important. Even though everybody eventually has to, it doesn't matter who you are, you have to fly your own. So once you start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you have to fly your own kind of
Yeah.
flat plane. We're
Yeah.
all flying our own plane. But if you're in the association with the right people, they're on the right journey, then you're going to be more inclined to do the things. So say, for example, like the chanting in this group that happens every morning, if
Yeah.
the chanting wasn't there, like obviously, yes, you can go and watch, there's chanting in temple. You can watch like a temple program, or you might just be chanting by yourself or whatever. But when you come into a group, you get that group association. So again, it motivates you to just continue the process. Like you've got support from others as well.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, like stay in a like I'm just assuming that's why, like, if you're in a dham, everybody's, you know, they're Krishna conscious, or they follow. If you're from Jagannath Puri, they're all, you know, sort of, you know, they're worshipping Lord Jagannath, or
Yeah.
they're in a group. They do it to kind of gather, and it's like a society of devotees. Whereas in this country, like, obviously we go to work, we do so many different things that are not devotional. Therefore, it's good to be in the association of devotees, because you can share. When you meet another devotee, that's the only time you're going to be able to connect again back to Krishna. And you
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
yeah, like, it's easier connection. Like, it's like another, you know, like it fireproofs us a little bit more.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I'm in the south East London,
Do you know
Eastern,
Deen Mani Prabhu and that?
in Southeast London, Croydon one.
Yeah, Deen Mani Prabhu, yeah. He's a pujari there, no? He used to be. Deen Mani Prabhu. He's from Mauritius.
No, actually,
Oh, okay. Yeah, so just
no, I don't think so.
keep going to the South Indian, sorry, the East,
So-
Southeast.
Southeast.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've just
Southeast is gone.
yeah,
Keep going there, because again, you're getting devotee association.
yeah. I've just
And talk to
started.
devotees. Talk to devotees. Talk to them. Try to get engaged in service as well. Like, if you can just do maybe like 1 hour a week or something, then do
Yeah,
that, because you will
can also
see.
chant, Mataji. You can also chant and do the devotee association parallelly. So,
yeah, yeah. I do chant every day, and I
mhm.
do myself, even while I'm working or time up in the mornings. Yeah. So the ISKCON temple where we had just a Kartik Damodar month and did some seva and stuff like that. We got lots of people. They're really good people. Um, yeah. So it's a new process, but as Gujarati, I don't know if you are Gujarati, but we have Gujarati Brahmin. We always have that kind of like God is the first thing, but to have a guru, we always take it like either your Hanumanji or your parents as your guru, and you take it and you keep going. Um, and
Yeah, and they absolutely, Hanumanji is a guru, and your parents are obviously a guru, and you're from a Brahmin background, so
yeah,
yeah, so yes, all of that, but you have to then take it to
take
the next
yeah,
step. Yeah.
yeah.
You can't, the thing with bhakti is you don't just say, oh, I'm reached a level and that's it. There's,
No,
yeah, like you
it's never
keep
enough.
moving forward. Yeah, there's Sanatan Dharma, and there's um what's the other one? Sanatan, and your normal, your Swadharma and your Sanatan Dharma. So your Swadharma is like, you're a mom and you're a Brahmin, and um, you know,
Yeah,
like that, yeah, like you're a wife or whatever, yeah, and you're,
yeah,
whatever job you do, whatever, like that's your Swadharma. You have to keep it going. But parallel to that, that's still
yeah,
material.
yeah,
Parallel to that, you have to do your Sanatan Dharma, which is eternal, and that is
yeah,
bhakti. That doesn't stop. So all these things, once this life comes to an end, with the body, that all those labels will go.
yeah,
But your Sanatan Dharma, you will take it with you into your next life. Or hopefully you go straight whatever you went to go, like, to the spiritual world. But um you know whatever the situation is, you still progress. Even if you make it to the spiritual world, we're still going to be serving the Lord. That's
yeah,
what we're going to be doing. Like,
yeah, 100%.
we're still eternally, but obviously then we'll probably have a body that doesn't get tired and whatever, and it'd be easier to just serve, and we'll have the intelligence, and we'll have like elevated other devotees around us probably, and I don't know.
Yeah,
You can
100%.
also watch some elevated devotees interviews, I mean, in the YouTube, like how they are living their life and what is their daily schedules. All
Yeah.
those things are very, very, really interesting to
Important.
watch that. Then we will
Yeah.
know, oh, yes, this is how we should do like that. You know,
Yeah.
you will get an idea. So how
Yeah.
practically you can do the different type of services. Like I mentioned, Aindra Prabhu, he's a brahmachari. Like he just flew from New York to Vrindavan to serve Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. So every time what he does, there were recordings like different people speak about Aindra Prabhu. You can listen to that, and even
Right.
he has spoken certain aspects what he is doing in his life, and he has written some books. Like he's like a living example, like you want to
Yeah.
have role model, like who are you are going to see and observe and try to follow. Like our Srila Prabhupada is there. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
we can't get everything in one person, so you have to follow, see different devotees lifestyles and all those things. So then you will get an idea, like you yourself will have an idea, but it's
Yeah.
good to see other devotees
Or
because it will channelize you, like I
yeah.
was really confused, like so with so many things. I was doing everything okay, at the same time not okay. I used to have this type of feeling every time. So yes, I used to watch all these videos, and then I
Yeah.
comes to the conclusion. See how they have done it. So this is the bhakti. What I'm doing is not a bhakti at all. I came to the conclusion
Right.
recently now. You know how
Wow.
it
Yeah.
is very difficult. Like I mean,
Yeah. It's
practically
too
you are
early for.
applying.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
applying like you are offering some boga to Lord Krishna. Say
Yeah.
you're not thinking about Krishna at that time. You know that Prabhupada has said we have to offer boga to Krishna and then only eat. Then you won't
Yeah.
get sins. That is only an outer layer. That's all. But when you do the same thing with, okay, today Krishna, what he might like, okay, I can make something what he likes, like sandesh or rasagulla or something what he likes. Then
Right.
you make that and then you offer to Krishna, then it is the real devotion. So
Yeah.
it's the
Mm.
bow. That's a bow thing. We have to build the relationship like that. Like,
Mm.
yeah, it's not that going to be so
Yeah.
easy. Like,
It,
and not
no.
for one time, throughout your lifetime, it has to be there. That's
Yeah.
really a challenging one. One or two time, three time, okay, fine, we can do it. But
Yeah.
throughout the lifetime, it's
Yeah.
very, very hard. Because
Yeah.
if we think, okay, today my daughter likes this, what she will be taking today, that only our mind will go first, not about Krishna, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like if you
Mm.
take, if you're not thinking about your daughter or your husband or your parents or whoever, just only about Krishna. Okay, Krishna likes these things. I wanted to nicely do and present to him nicely. Then that becomes the bhakti. Otherwise, what we are offering and keeping Krishna, and then that is you are doing akarma.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's also
Yeah.
Krishna will accept. It is Krishna will accept that, but that is not the pure devotional service. Pure
Yeah.
devotional service means you will include the mood into that service.
Right. Yeah.
So it's very difficult. I couldn't
Yeah.
explain, but I
But you
used to
explained
think,
very
okay,
well. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
just it's knowing it's kind of like
It's deep. Very
it's
deep.
deep and it's upgrading yourself as well. Like
Mm.
just what Mataji said, like, if you offer something to Krishna today, then tomorrow something else is and he's gonna want something else. Like it's having that
Mm.
direct relationship with him. What does he
Mm.
want to eat? Not what you want to eat. And he'll tell you exactly what he wants to eat. And even though you might not like it, you still have to cook it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's having that personal understanding of who Krishna is, and then the connection and I don't know if there's this worse anya pilashita shunyam,
that is the
etc.
pure devotional service.
That's pure devotional service. Like the height of it is that we continuously do devotional service, which is unmotivated. So it's like we're not doing it for something. We have to develop our love, unmotivated, uninterrupted. So it
It
can't.
should not be mixed with the karma mishra and jnana mishra.
Yeah.
like it's on a very pure level. Like when
Yeah,
it's very different. You know, like when you
it's
see,
very deep.
it's peak high, and but yeah, we slowly work towards it. Of course,
Yeah.
we get to that point where we're just doing for Krishna, but there is there's always improvements, and having, I suppose, having a process. And then there's obviously what we just talked about, Raganuga Bhakti. Like when you're in Vrindavan, there is no process. It's all spontaneous, loving, devotional service.
Mm.
When and the consciousness, and you know, it's high. You have to be very elevated. You have to. It's difficult. It's not a difficult, but it's simple. It's simple for the
practice.
simple.
It's practice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to, and through lifetimes, we're evolving and evolving and evolving and evolving. And we have to keep at it. Like there's no like break. There's no pause moment. Like Srila Prabhupada said, health, as long as your health is health, sadhana, service, health, sadhana, service. And in that way, you climb a few more steps forward. And if you know what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, like if you make it into the spiritual world in this life, great. The guru helps with that as well, Mataji. The guru does help with that, like Srila Prabhupada says. He's got the key to the back door. So in case we don't make it in through the front door, he'll get us
he will help
back. Because the guru is, it's got direct relationship with, like Srila Prabhupada used to say, when he used to write his books, Krishna was sitting next to him, dictating to him what he wanted him to write. And so he's got a direct connection. So obviously, again, if you connect to that guru, then you're getting that guru's mercy as well. As opposed if you do it on your own. So there's obviously that's a huge benefit. And then if we do make it to the spiritual world, great. If we don't make it to the spiritual world, then at least, what Krishna says, we can either be born in like an opulent family so that we don't have to worry so much about work, and we can focus on bhakti, or we're born in a family of transcendentalists, so everything just becomes easier. Like we still have to make that endeavor. And even through the Damodar Lila, we learn that, like Mother Yashoda, we still have to make that endeavor in bhakti. We can't just say, okay, this is the mercy will then come from Krishna, but the endeavor has to be there from us. It's a two-way relationship with Krishna. We have to keep the endeavor, and hopefully he will see that we're dedicated. And I was just reading the other day as well, like this little thing. It was written by one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, Mahatma Prabhu, and basically he wrote, imagine like we see Krishna one day and we're going towards him, and this is the happiest moment of our life, like we know we've made it now. And then you see him, and then he hasn't got a smile on his face, but he's a bit concerned. And then he says, and then in his book, he's just giving a scenario and a situation, but he says, can I trust you? And then if you really think about that, if Krishna asked us, the fact that we even have a material body means that we wanted to enjoy without him. We have this material body, and therefore, can he trust us? Like we always keep making so many promises to Krishna. Krishna, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. But can he really trust us? Like imagine he asked you that question, can I trust you? Because he loves us. He doesn't want to get hurt. Like, we might say, oh, one day we'll do bhakti and the next day we won't. And the next day we won't. And then, I'll do it another day. And all our endeavor, it has to be there. It has to be paka. Like, we don't want him to look at like a report. I'm not saying it's going to be like a report card. And he's merciful anyway. I mean, even if someone does nonsense all their life and they just say his name at the end, he's still accepting that person. And even the demons, you know, he gives them liberation. But
Yeah.
the fact is, and we're probably even worse than, you know, someone in my case, but the fact is that can he trust us? Like, it's got to be a relationship. Krishna is a person, and we have to remember that. And can he trust us? Can he trust the fact that we're not going to leave him again? Can he trust the fact that we're going to consistently stay rooted to what we're saying we're going to do? Because we are making promises to him. Like, and that quote, I mean, at first I thought it was a bit silly, but then when I look back at it, I thought, yes, so many times, Krishna, like something's, you know, like, make sure you look after my family, or do this or do that for me, and then I'll dedicate more time to you, and you know,
Yeah.
the business transaction. And you know, how many times have we done that? Like, Krishna, you do something for me and I'll do something for you. And but it's not that, it's that he wants love from us. He doesn't want
Yeah.
anything. He doesn't need our money. He doesn't need our cooking even. He doesn't need any of those things. But when you do something with love,
Yeah.
then he'll
That's right.
accept it. He only
Yeah.
wants our love. And how can we say, do we have love inside us? Do we even understand what love is? Do we even, or are we just doing something automatically? Are we doing it as a, how do we, you know, what are the steps to understand? And obviously through, like what Mataji said, like when she was reading the books, you know, therefore we understand the stages of, you know, how much our love is developing, and how much and how much like, no, are we serious? Like, even to, like, recently, my question is, are we even serious? Like, am I serious? You know, like, am I really serious about bhakti?
Yeah, yes, that's true.
So many questions. Yeah. Like, so many questions
So
coming
many questions. Yeah, we will
Yeah.
get. If we start Krishna consciousness and we chant sincerely, we will get definitely many questions, questions after questions.
Yeah, like, you know, you always have to check
And it is
yourself.
non-stop. At
It's
least for
Mhm.
me, it is
non-stop.
non-stop every time.
And then it's just that, just act like whatever we do, just make sure we're doing it for Krishna. Do it for his pleasure. Whatever action we're doing, you know, like he keeps saying, whatever you do, whatever charity you do, whatever penance you do, whatever austerity you do, whatever anything you do, just keep offering it to him.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
even that, he's giving us the energy to even do that. Even
Yeah.
we don't even have the courage to, like, if someone said, oh, I built this house or whatever, yeah, where did that energy come from? Where did that money come from? Where did that creativity come from? Where did anything come from? Anything all links to him. So really, what are we doing? That's another question. Even the fact that, you know, if we're cooking for him, we're still using his energy. Like,
Yes.
what
Yes.
It
how
True.
just
do we do?
remembers.
You know
It
what
just
I mean?
remembers me that in Bhagavad Gita shloka it comes like we are not the doer. We are just
Yeah.
act. We are just acting. Like just like
Yeah.
we are not. Everything is just we are just like an instrument. Like
Yeah, the
Mm.
instrument. Yeah. Just an
it's
instrument.
just we can imagine Krishna is operating us, and we are in the video game playing. So somebody, kids will operate the instrument to make um, the person in the video game to move here and there. It's just like that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, as long as you're like just an instrument, just and
Yeah.
yeah, just an instrument.
We can only desire, that's all. Only desire. Nothing we can do. Only Krishna can make it manifest in the form, like in materially. He can only do manifest our desire materially by his grace only. Otherwise we are not doing anything. We can
Yeah.
only desire. Even if we want to cultivate bhakti, we have to just cry to get the mercy of Krishna. We might think, oh, I'm chanting this many rounds and I'm reading Srimad Bhagavatam and doing all this. But for bhakti to come into your heart, this Krishna's mercy is needed. You are putting your efforts, but your efforts cannot give you bhakti. But Krishna, if he thinks, yes, this person is qualified, I'm going to give bhakti, then he is going to give you. Of course, to attract Krishna, we need to do all the things what our guru has said and previous acharyas have said. So we have to do everything. But only by the mercy of Krishna, we will be able to progress. We will be able to get to the stage of bhakti. Until that, we can only decide. If it is so long process, then we might get sometimes demotivated. What am I doing? Like Mataji was saying, am I doing really bhakti? Yeah, that's what happens, like we might get demotivated sometimes, but you need to pray for Krishna's mercy and associate with the devotees so that you will be encouraged or motivated to do more and more bhakti. So yeah, keep going on. Even there are so many difficult times might appear in their life. Oh, I don't want to do anymore. We might feel like that. But still, Krishna sometimes tests his devotees. Like he wants more from the devotees because he can't do anything with we can't do anything. He can't do anything with non-devotees.
Yeah, because they're just taking from him, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will fail every time he tests me.
No, you can't think of it like that. No, you can't think of it like that. We do get tests. I think tests do calm. Yeah, tests do calm.
His love is a gentle reminder for all of us.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, it's just a big, never-ending, and it's joyful. Like the thing with Krishna consciousness is it's joyful. Like the journey matters. The journey is Krishna. The goal is Krishna.
Everything is him.
And so the goal, the journey, what's the process is him.
Yeah.
Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana. And the mood, the love, it's all him. So it's a pleasant journey.
Yeah.
And they say, devotional service is performed joyfully. So we have to just take joy in that process, and whichever place we're in, and so it's easy to do devotional service in Vrindavan because it's everybody's doing it. It's so easy because the whole environment, the ambience, the environment is set for that. But then when you're in a place like this,
it's too many things happening. Surrounded by you. It's too difficult, but you have to manage. You have to focus. You have to focus to Krishna's feet, and I think
keep moving. Which part of Jagannath Puri are you from, Mataji?
Actually, Bhubaneswar.
You're from Bhubaneswar. I recently went there. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. Jagannath Dham Puri is
1
literally
hour, 2 hours.
2 hours from Bhubaneswar. We traveled there with my children and husband a couple of times. So it's been 3-4 times we've been with the families.
So you're born in Jagannath Puri?
Born in like my families are from, but no, I wasn't born in there, no. But my families, like 4 families, are from Jagannath Dham Puri.
Okay, so your previous, so your lineage is from there. That's amazing. I mean, you must have so much devotion in you. The fact that you're from Jagannath Puri, it's that's very auspicious and very big, and everybody from Orissa is lovely.
I hope so.
No, they're so. I mean, I know so many Orissa devotees, and I mean they're on a different level. They are on the level is very high.
Yeah, I think they are. Not me. So I'm just trying. I'm just a little tiny grain towards
No,
Krishna's.
but you know
Yeah.
what? That's the thing. That's the beauty of Krishna. Like, we might just all be little, like you say, little grains in the whole big shebang of things. But for Krishna, we are important because we're his part and parcel, and each and every person. That's why Krishna is so wonderful. That every single person matters, every single jiva matters, he wants a relationship with each and every single jiva because it belongs to him.
Right. Yeah.
And that's oh my God, like you're from well, your family's from Jagannath, so like obviously you can understand that. Like
It's it's amazing when you feel like you belongs to Jagannath, then but you don't
yeah.
have a chance to see Jagannath. So you want to plan to go to Jagannath Puri, but it doesn't happen
Oh,
very
Jagannath, when he
often.
calls you, he will call you.
Yeah, yeah. He's not calling me,
Okay, the
but
best thing is if you go to a Jagannath Rath Yatra here in this country.
yeah. We do to the London one and
And then
Croydon
when you
one.
see that one, just pray to that one. I want to go to Orissa. He will take you. Trust me.
Yeah, I love it. The Rath Yatra in London. We just every year we go there, but Jagannath Puri is something that is like our
It's
wish
very
to
special, isn't it? It's very
yeah. For Rath
special.
Yatra is difficult though. I don't know if Jagannath.
I have never been to the big Rath Yatra. I've been to Jagannath Puri twice now, and I've been to Nilachal, and I've been to like
Wow, Saki
Sakshi
Gopal.
Gopal and
Mm.
Bhubaneswar. We went to all the temples there. We went to the Konark, is it Sonak temple?
Konark
Konark
Temple.
temple. We went
Yeah.
to Gorgon Goswami Maharaj's ashram. We went to quite obviously all the places in Jagannath Puri, like
Is that is in Vrindavan? Sorry to cut you off. That is Vrindavan. There is a for Jagannath Puri people. They have a like a Baya Baba Mott or something. I have heard about it, but I am not 100% sure. In Vrindavan, anyone belongs to Jagannath Puri, and they can actually stay there forever if they want to.
oh
Yeah, it's in Vrindavan. Where is in Vrindavan? I have no idea, but I can find it out. It's called Baya Baba Mott.
oh.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
So
Yeah, I mean, people in Bhubaneswar. I mean, they're very pious. If you have Lingaraj there as well, don't you? And you have that
yeah,
Vishnu
yeah.
temple, and yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Sakshi Gopal, where Sri Krishna,
Jota
yeah,
Gopinath. You know my
yeah,
best place
Gopinath,
actually.
yeah, yeah.
My favorite dham. I'll be honest with you. I love Vrindavan, but one of my favorite dhams is Khir Jora Gopinath.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.